I'm sorry, what is the Tyrod Taylor update? Oh boy, we're going to talk about it. Boy Green Daily with a special guest as always starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily. This is a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. If you'd like to immediately see what we're talking about here with the latest news on Tyrod Taylor, we have a full article in the YouTube description down below. Before we get there, first off, folks, if you're coming in on YouTube, make sure you guys like the video and hit subscribe. We'd appreciate it. And I've got a special guest who joins me every Friday. You always see him. He's always present, even though his time slot is every Friday. He's always with us in spirit, because over my left shoulder is one of the greatest pieces of literature that have been written in this universe. It is Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football forever. And let's bring him in because he's changed the podcast guest hosting game forever. It is Bob Gosh Darn Lederer. Bob, good morning.
How are those gosh darn bananas today?
Lost based on this topic, which I am a little perplexed by. Now, the initial, hey, the Jets want to keep Tyrod Taylor up. Okay, I guess that's fine. Doesn't really move the needle for me. If they want to bring him in and he's battling with some other person for QB2, all right, I guess. But here's the thing where I'm getting a little bit lost here, Bob Lederer. So Tony Pauline, NFL insider extraordinaire, shared this update that the Jets have let it be known. Here's a quote. I'm told the Jets have let it be known that they'd like to bring Tyrod Taylor back in 2026 in a similar role to the one that he manned last season. And then he gets into a little bit of what he did this year. That's fine. And he called him a dependable backup for most of his 15-year career, blah, 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 blah. But here's the part where he added one last nugget to this. Quote, despite the Jets' hopes to keep Tyrod Taylor, those close to this situation believe it will be tough to re-sign him, as there will be a market for the quarterback, and the Jets will have to overpay to keep him. And I'm not sure where you sit, Bob, on Tyrod Taylor, but if we have to overpay to keep him, let me make sure I do this appropriately first. With all due respect, again, Bob, if we say that phrase, we're then allowed to say whatever we want. Then those are just the rules. And with all due respect, Tyrod Taylor, I don't really see it with Tyrod Taylor. Tony Pauline described him as, let me make sure Tyrod Taylor, quote, played reasonably well, quote unquote, for the Jets this season. Tyrod Taylor had as many interceptions as touchdowns this season. He's 36. He's going to be 37 by the start of the 2026 season. And they originally signed him in 2024, 2-year deal, $12 million, $8.5 million total in guarantees. And now he's set to be a free agent this offseason. That $6 million annual salary ranked 34th among the highest paid quarterbacks in football. The projections say he's actually going to make even less on his next deal. Spotrac has him making $4 million in free agency coming up this offseason, which would be 43rd among quarterbacks. But like Tyrod Taylor is just a guy. That's sort of my point. Like overpay. He stinks. He's old. He can't stay healthy. If he is any serious part of the Jets quarterback plans, then I question the plan. How is this guy a key piece of this puzzle? So that I'm going to be honest, Bob, I'm befuddled. I'm appalled.
Have you run out of breath yet?
Almost. So, Bob, you give it to me here. How do you feel about Tyrod Taylor? Do you want him back at all, just in general? And then what do you make of this potential?
But you didn't set up me for an answer on a T. You set up a series of T's.
That it was, yes, several T's.
I feel like I'm not a golfer, but I feel like I'm at a golfing range.
Okay, well, driving range actually.
To the next one, to the next one, to the next one.
Okay.
What is overpay? I'm not looking for an answer. I'm just saying, What is overpaying? How much did he get paid this year?
So he signed the deal 2 years ago, but it was a 2-year, $12 million deal. So he was making $6 million per year. So
Okay.
$6 million.
All right, fine. 2. Did they say anything yet about finding a quarterback coach?
No,
I
we have no
think-
update. No.
Now, here's my belief. And again, you're not in the locker room. I'm not in the locker room.
No. Mm-hmm.
None of us are in the locker room. And by the way, before I go any further, Indy, I hope you're doing better. My thoughts are with you. I just heard about what your situation is, and I'm thinking about you, and I miss you not coming in and talking to us.
You said we're not in the locker room.
Okay, I'm my 73-year-old, almost 74-year-old brain is just
congratulations.
It's like a computer, and it's getting all the chips together. Okay, now here's where we are.
Yeah.
They say, and you've heard this many times before, the best players make the worst coaches.
Right.
DeWitt could among the worst players be perhaps among the best coaches. He's been around, to say the least. He's been on that merry-go-round for as long as his NFL career has been. He's a high draft pick originally.
No, he was a 6th-round pick originally.
6th-round pick, okay.
Yeah.
Well, until he demonstrated that his body was made out and put together by super glue almost every year, people thought about him, and he started for Buffalo, right?
He did. That was the highlight of his career, a 3-year run before he predated Josh Allen. That 3-year run, he was a full-time starter.
So the guy has not been without talent. Today he's stitched together.
Yeah.
And so, you can't really expect him to be out there very long. But we don't know, because we're not in the locker room, what his capabilities are up here.
Right.
And I would think that a guy like that might have a lot to impart to a young rookie quarterback if somehow, some way, we get anybody worth drafting this year, and such. And I mean, I see him as a number 3. I don't know who their number 1 is going to be, and I don't know who their number 2 is. He's probably a number 3, but with a young quarterback who probably will sit and therefore not even be activated among the 53 for most or maybe all of the season. He could sit there very, very carefully, and with their little pads, they can look at every play and say, hey, oh, yeah, that's what you told me. So I don't completely scoff the idea of bringing Tyrod Taylor back. And if he's good at understanding everything he's done wrong that he can teach to a young kid, so that they don't make the same mistakes, then probably it's worth it. But thank God we have something to talk about during the offseason, and today it's Tyrod Taylor. So I wouldn't completely rule the whole thing out. If they said they want him to be the starting quarterback, I would go, what? If they said we want him to be the number 2 quarterback, I would go, huh? But the third quarterback, hey, here's your seat, old man. Sit down and teach. Teach me.
Yeah. We have a YouTube poll. Yeah, we have a YouTube poll up right now, so you guys can share in it. And this is how I set it up. Do you, as a Jets fan, want to bring back Tyrod Taylor under any capacity? So starter, bridge, backup, in any, however you want to.
Where can I vote? Where can I vote? I got to vote.
Yeah, there you go. Right there on YouTube. So yes, it can't hurt to have depth, or no, this dude is made of glass and you don't want him on the team. So feel free to vote throughout the rest of the show. And I agree.
I voted. I voted.
I can only imagine where you voted. Again, I agree with it. By all accounts, everything I've ever heard, I went to Jets Giant joint practice in the middle of the summer sometime, whenever that was. And by all accounts, everyone loves Tyrod Taylor. He's a stand-up guy. There's no like issue. It's not like he's, rubbing people the wrong way or anything, which again, I'm totally cool with that. But the thought that to keep him, you have to overpay. And me and you apparently view him similarly as a QB3. I'm not overpaying a QB3. That, with all due respect again, what he brings is inconsequential, like in terms of the play on the field. Now, as a teacher, maybe there's more that I'm not giving him credit for of what he can provide from that perspective, which I would love.
Let's say
Yeah.
overpay
Yeah.
is the same $6 million for the year, because maybe
Yeah.
he now is worth $2 or $3 million.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So is he worth $5 or $6 million as a mentor?
No.
Okay.
I don't think
Well,
so.
I mean, I can agree with you, because a quarterback coach, huh? What's a quarterback coach?
Well, that too. I
Yeah,
mean,
Aaron.
right.
Hey, what's a quarter? Oh, I know. We're not supposed to know. Why? Because we don't want to tell you.
Right.
That was great guesting yesterday. I thought you had a terrific show yesterday, because I kept
Thank
yelling
you.
at the TV. Okay, the the agents for the backup for
Yeah.
these assistant coaches are
Mhm.
not supposed to tell anybody who that they tried out
Right.
for the Jets position. Oh, but we tried out at Minnesota and St. Louis and Baltimore and
Uh-huh.
Miami. And let me see, how many other teams are there? Oh, yeah, the whole league.
Yeah.
But we can't tell you that he tried out or he talked to the Jets.
It is weird. We've heard nothing, by the way. Just I
Yeah.
see a few people are asking. So, quarterback coach or any offensive staff changes, zip and pip, folks.
Yeah.
Zip and pip. Now, typically, you will get, even if there were minimal changes or a lot of changes, NFL teams at some point during the offseason, so I don't know, somewhere in the next 2 weeks, they put a post out on their website. They put a post out on social media. Here are staff changes for 2025 or 2026 in this case. Here are staff changes. And you're like, oh, what are these? Click, and whoa, new quarterback coach. Whoa, the defensive coordinator thing is official whenever they hire whoever the hell that is. So that's maybe when we're going to see it from AG, who's buttoning up the entire program here. Maybe that's what we hear. But we've heard zero interviews. I have no idea I assume the Jets have talked to someone, but I don't know who the hell they've talked to. It hasn't been released at all.
I'm just surprised that Aaron and our offensive coordinator are not willing to just say to the public, we're interviewing people behind the scenes. And
Right.
as was true with the DC, we'll let you know in maybe a week or two about the expanse of people that we're talking to. And, shortly thereafter, we hope that we'll have somebody lined up. I think there's so much going on still with the winning teams and the aspirations that teams have. I got to get an assistant from one of the last 2 or 4 teams, because they know how to do it right. And that's all I can think, as opposed to hiring some grizzled guy, like the guy in Tampa, who's semi-retired, I guess, but is a special
Tom Moore
assistant.
down here.
Yeah, who's a special assistant, to the Bucks. And I don't know if he's willing to be pried away to come to New York and spend the summer in New Jersey and maybe 3 months in New York during the season. I have no idea. But they got to do something, and they look unprofessional the way they're running that franchise. Again, like I said about the defensive coordinator thing.
Mm-hmm.
No one is allowed to say that they've actually interviewed with the Jets. Why? Because the Jets don't want it. And I'm the kind of guy, and I always get myself in trouble asking my bosses, okay, I heard what you said. Why? Explain it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are so huffy-puffy about themselves that they say, I don't really want to tell you. And that doesn't sit well with me. And I don't think in this situation it sits well with most Jet fans. In fact, I was surprised yesterday that I didn't hear anybody call in and say, I don't get it. Why do they want it to be so quiet? What's the rationale?
Yeah, we didn't get any of those comments, interestingly. And it seems like, now, I agree with you. I haven't heard the why on any of this, but the no leak thing, it seems like a lot of Jet fans are rallying around. Now, like I said, as a content creator, it sort of hurts because, like, it would behoove me if the Jets once a day said, hey, we interviewed Jack Black of Blee Blah Blue for this.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
oh,
the way,
great.
That's the way it normally happens.
Yes, so they are keeping it in-house, and we didn't know 5 of the 8 names until they released the full list. So me personally, while again, I would mind for my content creator and article world for them to spread it out and allow me to do deep dives on these people so I'm better informed and the people are better informed, sure. I would prefer that. But if they want to keep the no league thing, that's fine. But I think what Jet fans care more about, if that's what you're going to do, you better make sure that you land at the end of the rainbow with a considerable guy that makes sense. If you do this sneaky CIA process and then you end up with who's one of the least, Ephraim Banda of the Cleveland Browns. If that's where you end up, a lot of Jet fans are going to be confused of how we landed on that whole.
They're not going to be confused. There's a different verb, and it's not confused.
Right.
Hey, listen, you are supposed to be a professional writer. I don't know if you claim to that, but a professional writer can write about the same subject, say the same thing, but say it differently every single day. And again, and I've said this here before, that's what went on here with the Bears and Caleb Williams the entire season. There must have been 100 days in a row with a story about Caleb Williams and no news whatsoever. Yeah. But just, okay, he sat around yesterday with Ben Johnson, and Ben, when he watched him on the field, Ben smiled. Headline, Ben smiles at Caleb in practice. And so that, that's how things go. But they're doing themselves. I don't understand how Woody doesn't care about this. They're doing themselves a big disservice by completely locking themselves out of a room in the newspaper every day or online or whatever.
Right.
Fans want to see that their team is doing something, even when they're terrible.
Right.
I mean, I saw this morning the Mets got this guy, Vidal Brujon. Okay. And I saw the name and I said, wow, I think he's been on like 3 different teams. And I saw he was on the Cubs. I sent a chat to my son this morning, a Cub fan, said, this guy
Bobby Jr., right?
Yeah.
Right.
And no, it was actually Bobby Jr. Sr.
Oh,
yes, the older of the two.
Oh,
and Bobby Jr. Sr. immediately wrote back to me as his kids were screaming in his presence, he sucks, forget about it. But at least I picked up the paper today and I said, oh, the Mets did something, so I have something I can look at and say, oh, well, let me think about this. Okay, it's nothing, but at least they did something. And it's so important in the New York market, and you're competing with the Giants, even though you're in the same league now with the Giants, but you're competing with the Giants for space, for interest, and for recognition, and to not be considered a joke. And the Giants are doing, have made the big move that takes them out of being, what in the world are we doing, or what a joke they are, to, hey, look who we hired as our coach. And they are every day saying he's looking for an OC, and he went back to Baltimore to see if he can get him. And he's looking for this, and he's considering. I mean, come on, this is not difficult. I don't know who the PR guy is running the Jets, but knock knock, who's there? You certainly aren't.
That's a great line. I will tell you, I get asked whenever I'm in some sort of public appearance, they're like, Paul, you do this daily Jet show. Is it every day, 365 days a year? I'm like, it is. Holidays, this, that, they're like, the season is like September-ish to like December
August
for you guys,
31st.
right? Yeah, right. And I'm like, yes, it is. She's like, what the hell do you talk about the rest of the time? And I'm like, I don't know. Tune in, I guess.
You should be,
I don't know.
At least the assistant PR director, if not the PR director, because at least you have a sense, because you're trying to make a living, that there are things that can be talked about, that the Jets, I mean, they do have a PR group, and they're putting out One Jets Drive and all this kind of stuff. So they're trying to keep people interested and motivated in some way. But come on, there's got to be something here that they could work out with Aaron Glenn to keep themselves, top of mind with people who are such fans that they would watch a show about the Jets, yours, first thing in the morning, and then in an hour's time afterwards, go watch Jake and watch other people. I mean, I do it, but I don't watch everybody every day, but I want to know what's going on. And the people like yourself who I respect and who I know that I'm going to get some really interesting and maybe even valuable and thought-provoking information about the team from, I tune into because I care. I haven't lost, the fervor in my heart yet for this team, despite all the dirt they keep throwing on top of me as they try to bury me and all the other Jet fans. It's amazing how they just don't get it.
Yeah, and to add to that, so again, we do the daily Jet show every day, talking Jets, and then someone says, like, what the hell do you write about? Like, okay, you cover the team and you write articles every day. What in God's green earth do you write about 365 days a year? And I'm like, how many articles do I write every year? So I just did the quick math. I write between 3 and 5 articles every day about the New York Jets. So over the course of a year, that puts us between 1,100 and 1,700 articles
every year. And you wouldn't do it if you didn't know there was an audience that was going to read it.
Of course, right.
Yeah.
So, I'm very blessed that people give a flying hoot, I guess, about my opinion about a variety of Jets topics, because my opinion is splashed in there on this Tyrod Taylor article. Yeah.
Oh, do you see, do you get some kind of calculation of how many people have read each article after you've written it?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have a couple million readers of people that consume my stuff, which again, I am completely humbled and also confused by. Like, what in the world is going on that people are reading this? But, blessed be he, shout out. But my columns are a little bit different than I would imagine your standard beat person who's supposed to just sort of give you the black and white of it. I very openly put my opinion in there. Like the Tyrod Taylor thing, I'm like, with all due respect, I make jokes and I say, I don't know if I would do it. Here's the news and here's my thoughts. I don't know if I would do this. And that's just sort of how I've always operated. And it's fun because obviously we get to take it to these shows and expand upon it even more than I can in the written word. So it is pretty crazy, but so like I said, this is the world we live in, and this is the world that AG has put us in. So hopefully, again, because I'm an optimistic guy by nature, I just hope that the Jets are interviewing some prominent offensive people behind the scenes to fill this role, because I don't feel comfortable with the current quarterback infrastructure that exists. But we have zero rumors interview. The other day, it must have been a couple weeks ago now, someone called in and said, hey, who do you think some of the names are talking to? Me and you look at each other like, I got no for. It's just such a difficult thing to prognosticate, because anyone who is of any note is already hired in their place and they're not leaving. So now I'm trying to think of retired people or super young people that are just, wild upside, and you're giving a significant promotion if you're the Jets. And that's the allure of taking this job versus just being some, guy running coffee in Jacksonville or wherever the hell you are. So
some NFL parody guy last night, and I didn't realize it was a parody at first.
Okay.
But he wrote a post and said, I said, oh my God, does Paul know about this? But it was a parody. Okay. And it said that Aaron Glenn was getting so depressed by all the guys who weren't.
Oh, I saw this.
Yes. Yeah. That he was going to take time off to kind of recalibrate himself and get himself composed. I went, who the heck is this guy? And then I read parody.
Yeah.
But, when you get told by several prominent people, I'm sure that they're not interested in even talking about it, even if they say it in a nice way, what it really means, and it's got to cut deep. And Aaron's got the problem of nobody wants to come in with a lame duck coach.
Sure.
At this point, and I don't know what good it would do, but at this point, Woody probably needs to get up and say, hey, all you guys who think that Aaron is gone after this year, no matter what kind of a year we have, you're wrong. That might help, not much, but it might help attract people. Although we talked about this, anybody they hire is going to get a multi-year contract.
Correct.
So if on Monday, and I'm hoping this is the case, that Jim Leonard gets offered the job, he's going to know he's got a 3 or a 4 or 5 year contract. And so if after a year they get a new coach, Jim Leonard is there. He's going to get paid whether or not the new coach wants him or not. I doubt he'd get that kind of a deal, but that's what I'd hold out for. And that's why, as you explained and Nick explained yesterday, that our favorite game show host is probably the odds-on favorite to be the next DC, because he's got nothing better to do, and he's got a career that he's still in the middle, or hoping be in the middle of.
Well, I'm hoping on the Wink thing that for the Jets, I've heard his name zero other place, like literally nowhere. And there's a lot of defensive coordinator jobs open. I hope that the Jets see that and they're like, you know what? Let's put Wink on the back burner here. Doesn't look like we're competing against anyone for him. So let's park him back here and let's chase Jim Leonard again. Monday, regardless of result, they'll be able to speak with him in person. That would be their second interview with him. And then fully vet out that process before you make any decisions. It would be silly to me if we get an update, today they've hired Wink or anybody else, because why not wait now? We're already almost there to Monday. You might as well at least attempt to bring him in. Let me ask you this, Bob. You tell me. You have your BS meter, okay? So you mentioned that, man, maybe Woody's just come out here and say, this, maybe that would help some things. Here's what Rich Cimini reported about why Woody hasn't said anything so far. No,
I want to hear this. I don't get to read Rick every day. Good.
Yeah. So specifically after, Black Monday, right? Most of us don't think Aaron Glenn's, I don't want to say most of us because I've read my comment section. Okay. Some of us believed, based on all the reporting, that Aaron Glenn was not going to get fired on Black Monday. But some of us were like, let me just keep an eye out just in case something crazy happens and see. Nothing happened. Rich Cimini's podcast later that week, he wrote and talked about this on the podcast, that he believes that Woody Johnson didn't come out with some emphatic statement on Monday, said, yo, everybody, AG safe, so just shut up. Okay? He's coming back. Rich says the reason that Woody didn't do that is because if by doing that, he would indicate that he's listening to the noise and that there could be potential trouble. Because if you thought there's potential trouble, you would say something to quiet it down. But Rich believes that Woody didn't do that because he didn't even want to acknowledge the heat. Because in Woody's head, AG's in the first year of a 5-year deal. Why in God's green earth would I put out a statement? Only a crazy person would put out a statement. Do you buy or sell that from Woody as to
be honest, I didn't quite understand it. It sounded a lot like I don't want to talk about it. And Rich Cimini has been around. He's been around long enough that he was there when I was a kid. Hello, that was a little while ago. And he's darn good at what he does.
100% love Rich.
I think that Woody was probably more afraid to put his name and associate it with any kind of a statement, because he's been criticized for getting involved in any way with anything that AG and Doogie are doing.
Yeah. Well, let's get a super chat in here too, Bob. Go ahead. Please finish.
So I think that's probably the reason. I don't think it's because, he's got a 5-year contract. Why do I need to say anything? I think it's because he knows that every time he even thinks about saying something, doesn't even say it, but he goes to a president's meeting of the NFL, owners meeting, and he looks around and he sees reporters and they are yelling questions at him, and he just goes, he knows that's going to show up.
Yeah.
He goes to an owner's meeting. He should put a bag over his head so that nobody knows he's the one that's there. Right. Because anything he says or does, given his track history, is going to be taken negatively. So I think that's why he didn't say anything. Because, in a lot of times in sports, the voice of approval is the last thing that a guy gets before he gets.
Exactly. Right. 100%.
That's not going to happen here. And I didn't expect it to. And I'm torn about whether we should keep AG or not. But he doesn't want to do that because he realizes it's got a more negative connection to it than a positive connection. Let's go to the super chat.
There you go, which actually beautifully connects over with this. Philly Doodles.
Wow.
Philly Doodle says the Jets will be the best job spot next season for a head coach and staff, indicating that AG would be fired next year. And thus the attractiveness at this current moment, of course, is they have $200 million in cap space next season. They have 3 first-round picks.
So says with great confidence my friend Philly Noodles.
Yeah, there you go.
About a team that won 3 games this year. Oh,
Yeah.
did we win 3 games? Yes, we won 3 games this year.
So, do you believe this then? That again, not one more season, whatever 2026 is, so however many more wins, hopefully it's more than 3, and then Aaron Glenn would be fired, and that would be the best job available.
Assuming the Jets scouting staff
Yeah.
is good. I'm not even saying great.
That's a
good.
big assumption, but okay. Yep.
They are in such prime positions on the draft board that
Yes.
I think 3 of the first 4 picks are going to be on the defense. And so you should be able to fortify that weakest of spots, on this roster immediately. And the 4th pick is going to be a wide receiver. So you will have strengthened that side where we had a glaring, opening as well. Mm-hmm. So what are they going to do? Are they going to win 6 games? They're going to win 7 games. I mean, that'll be a big improvement.
Sure.
But is that going to convince Woody that Aaron's the guy? I mean, they could win games and they could stay in 6 or 7 other games and maybe just grasp or clutch or had been in a position to win a number of those games, and maybe that's how Aaron Glenn saves his job. Or Aaron could be a really bad coach and he picked the wrong defensive coordinator who can't really turn those kids quickly enough into, game changers, in which case, so I don't know. And, will the former Bills coach, boy, what a story there. The players want him back after he's been fired.
I saw they've put it Bills fans. You've done a lot of pathetic things in your history. This has got to be up there. That you guys have created an online petition to sign all of you Bills fans to reinstate him. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, but I mean, the bigger stupidity to me is the owner walked in the locker room and Allen was crying.
Yeah.
I got to fire the coach.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even Allen, if he had been asked first about that, would have said, no, you don't need to fire him, especially not because I was crying. Did you notice there were 40 other guys in the room who were sobbing and crying too? I mean, it's ridiculous. But let's say that coach, that the Jets want to hire him next year. Let's just say
McDermott, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy that the Bulls just fired. I mean, he's got a nice track record.
Sure.
Okay. So he hasn't been to the Super Bowl, but he's taken them a long way. Yep. And look what they did with Josh Allen.
Sure.
Who did they trade up at all to get him? They did.
Yes, they traded up from the 16th overall pick to the 7th overall pick. So they made a 9-pick jump.
So look at the job that they did with him compared to the job that was done with everybody else on that board at the quarterback position. And if nothing else, you have to give him and his staff all the credit in the world. And I'm sure Josh Allen would tell you that too. Because Josh Allen, like Manning and like all the other, can't miss quarterbacks of the last 25 years, he struggled. He struggled. He didn't come out of the chute in the middle of the season and go, here I am, Wonder Boy. It didn't happen. No. It took some real coaching up to do that. So with that Buffalo coach, now ex-Buffalo coach, let's say the Jets were interested in him, and they should be, along with the guy from Pittsburgh who says he's going to be a TV announcer for at least a year.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin, right?
So just those 2 guys alone, you'd have a choice of a veteran coach, and you wouldn't have to be guessing what you're getting. You'd know pretty well what you're getting. Would those guys be, I can't wait to get to Floral Park and turn that franchise around? I mean, I think I don't know.
To answer this question at Philly Doodles, again, I I don't want to go through a world where we have a shitty season and AG gets fired. So I want that to be sort of on the forefront here. But in your world that I'm jumping into in this super chat world, I think the Jets, I don't know who else, of course, is competing for same set head coaches. Every year there's between 6 to 8. This year there happens to be 10 openings, but there's 6 to 8 every year. So the Jets will be competing against somebody for some of these names. The Jets are New York. If you win in New York, yippity doo dah. They've got 3 first-round picks of what's supposed to be this supreme elite class. Let's see if that's true. Right now, everyone says it. But a year ago today, everyone said about 2026. And then now look at where we are. So let's see if it's really true. But that's what all the experts tell me, that it's a historic draft at all these different positions and quarterback specifically. We'll see if that's true. If all that holds a year from now, yes, the Jets will be an incredibly attractive job. But it also, of course, it's not a perfect job. There's red flags all over the place that a coach would have to overcome. And a coach would have to.
There'd be a lot of challenges.
For sure. Absolutely.
And a lot of pressure. Okay, you're gonna get a 5-year deal.
Right.
And I mean, if the Giants' new coach is making $20 million a year, $20 million a year for a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's worth it. He's worth it
Yeah.
if he turns the Giants around immediately and puts them in position like he has in Baltimore all these years, year after year after year. Positions changing all the time, stars coming and leaving and that sort of thing. It's worth every bit of money. But the pressure, and the other thing is, I don't know what kind of atmosphere exists at One Jets Drive. I mean, I really don't. I mean, again, their president has no football background at all.
Jaime Elhai.
Yeah, other than negotiating TV contracts. I mean, come on. Look at the other winning franchises. Look at the faces, like the 49ers put out John Lynch.
Sure.
For the media.
Yeah.
And he's running the whole show. There's no doubt he's running the whole show. Jaime is not running anything besides, the coffee machine down the hall.
Now, fairness, John Lynch is the GM in San Francisco.
Yeah, well, but who's? I'll have to look it up while we're talking. But who's the president of football operations? I guarantee you, it's a football guy, and not just some administrative hire.
Just to another point of clarity here, I believe Jaime Elhai is not the president of football operations. I believe he's just the team president. So
that's enough for me. I don't even think they have a president of football.
I don't believe so. The Jets don't have that position. I think Jet fans were hoping that position would happen, that some sort of football czar of sorts would be able to overlook this operation and be just a notch above the GM. And again, that person in theory could replace Woody as the key football decision maker, but obviously the Jets chose not to do that this past season. So I appreciate the super chat, Philly Doodles. Thank you for sending that in.
Thank you, Philly. We'll talk to you later, I hope.
Yes, I'm sure we'll open up the phone lines. I do want to provide a bit of good news for Jet fans. If you watch my YouTube shorts, you've already seen this, or if you read my columns, you read this yesterday. But I want to give it to the grand audience here, Boy Green Daily, that the Jets got some good news. I was told a lot of noise from Jet fans on social media, and they were wrong, and I want some apologies. You guys can call in for that segment. Everyone told me Jim Leonard isn't coming to the Jets. He's going to the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to the Cowboys, Paul, so shut up. It's happening. And the Cowboys hired a defensive coordinator yesterday, and it wasn't Jim Leonard. It's Christian Parker of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, that is a double bit of good news for the Jets. Number one, they didn't take someone from the Jets list. The Jets didn't even speak to Christian Parker. And again, this isn't meant as a slight to Christian Parker. He just wasn't on the Jets list, so I don't care about him. If they hired someone from the Jets list, that eliminates a guy from the list. So the fact that they swam in a different pool is great because the Cowboys spoke to half of the Jets list for their defensive coordinator job. And of course, by hiring Christian Parker, they didn't hire Jim Leonard. So that's another big defensive coordinator job off the board. So the Jim Leonard sweepstakes remain alive, baby, which is good news for the Jets. So I just wanted to throw that out.
By the way, as I promised, I just looked up the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
And Lynch is the GM and the head of football operations.
Oh, he does both roles.
Yes,
okay.
But they have an executive VP of football operations who also serves as the president of the team.
Who's that?
And his name is Parag Marathe.
Never heard
And
of
he has been there for 25 years. And his
Wow.
job basically is to work on negotiating contracts.
Oh, interesting. They're cap guy. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. All right.
Yeah. But I mean, we've heard over the years, look at Baltimore. We've heard all over the years about their front office and what Ozzie Newsome, who's supposed
He's
to
in
be
Baltimore. Yep.
who's moved in all kinds of different positions.
Right. He's
within
sort of
their
in an angel
framework.
role now because Eric DeCosta took over for him. But he was the
but
GM
he's-
forever.
But Ozzie was the eye of the draft.
Of course.
And he had a special ability to detect the guys. I mean, he is the guy supposedly, that said, "Hey, we got to draft this quarterback from Louisville, even though it's the end of the first round and nobody else thinks he has the arm that he needs to be a football player." And the rest is history. I mean, look at the talents that they. In fact, when we were on earlier this year, we asked what's his name, the guy who used to be the football writer for the New York Daily News, and we asked him who's the best drafting team in football year after year, and he said Baltimore. I thought it would be Dallas. He said it's Baltimore. So we need that kind of depth in the organization. It shouldn't just be, even if Aaron Glenn is a savant of football, we should have more depth in that whole organization and around him that we know right now doesn't really exist. So anyway,
That's
go ahead. Try to argue that one.
Well, I need more time. I'm going to use my first charge time out of the hat.
Thought for a column for this week.
Yeah, I think you're right. Here we go.
Wow.
Go to Joey_R1202. Thank you for the $5 super chat, sir. That's a raffle ticket for our contest. More on that later. BG, here's how AG saves his job. Get Mendoza in the building at all costs. And this would appease Woody, who just wants to fill seats, and we win 8 to 9 games. What do you think? A couple of things here. First off, if AG believes, and I would imagine, I don't want to suppose, I don't know. If AG believes there's legitimate heat on him, that like, oh boy, man, if I don't do something, I'm going to get fired.
Yep.
Or maybe, again, to Bob's point, maybe like Woody has told him previously, like, I don't have to say this publicly, but you know what, pal, you're not on the hot seat. If you have another bad year, I still believe in your vision. Maybe he said that. We don't know that information. But if AG really feels the heat, if I'm AG, why would I care if I give up future picks? I might not be here. So so I'd be more willing than anybody. If Woody's like, we go to the draft day movie and the owner's talking to Sonny Weaver and he's like, I want to make a splash, Sonny. If he tells AG, I want to make a splash, and AG, get the scuba gear on and see if you can offer your firstborn son and anything else that's available to see if you could get Fernando Mendoza.
The keys to the J&J fortune.
Yeah, sure. Whatever works. So, yes, that would, of course, inspire hope in the fan base. That I'm sure that would
get anybody. They would get anybody they want if Woody would say, "Take what's mine," and
sure. Yeah, right. So, yeah, I like the overall plan here, Joey, about get Mendoza in the building at all costs. How would that not save AG's job unless Mendoza was just terrible immediately? And there would be an inherent pressure if you traded up in this particular case to get Fernando Mendoza. If you just put him on the bench after sacrificing a bunch of assets, I don't know how you go from 3 wins where you were to jumping to a higher level with less assets to replace. So you would, unless it's just completely better coaching, and that's possible, I guess, from year 1 to year 2. But we need to see some of these hires that would do it. But that would appease Woody.
It's a great question, Joey. But Paul, let me ask you something.
Okay, sure.
You watched the game Monday night. I watched the game Monday night.
Yeah, great game.
And I still would love, to get Mendoza.
Okay.
But what was your overall impression of Mendoza, who was under fire the entire game and having to really run for his life? Probably half the time, so he dropped back, and of course, we'll all remember the guts, on that quarterback.
4th and 5, yes.
But what was your overall impression of him?
To be honest, I didn't think he was that impressive.
I didn't either.
the thing that impressed me was the thing that's impressed me this entire time about Fernando. So he just reiterated the thing I love most about him. And there is this toughness, this tenacity, this, hey, my team needs it. 4th and 5 in this dramatic fashion.
His late game heroics.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just that, like, no matter if he's playing like crap or anything, in that moment, he rises above however he's playing and seemingly delivers a play. Now they have this perfect season, so he was Superman every time. There's no blood. There was no mortality of losing a game and us reevaluating the whole picture. So he was perfect the entire season in terms of record. But that's the thing that's out. No, the overall didn't. He didn't throw for 500 yards.
I would be more enthused to be able to draft Miami's entire front four.
Oh, sure.
Than I would be interested in giving the farm away to get Mendoza.
That would be fun if that's possible. But I would take Mendoza. I love Mendoza. I want him. There's a few people that keep whispering to me, it's not a lock that he doesn't go number 1. And I'm like, the things have shocked me before in my life. For Fernando to not go number 1 would be the most shell-shocking, stunning thing. It's a 1 quarterback class. The Raiders are a dumpster fire at quarterback. Why wouldn't they do? I just don't understand. Again, I want to understand. I want to believe.
If I'm Mendoza's agent, and I look at the Las Vegas Raiders offensive line, I go, hey, I go to Davis and go, hey. Before you draft us, what are you doing about that offensive line? Because I don't want my boy to get killed. He's going to. We saw how he had to run for his life against a college defense.
In
the championship game. What's going to happen when he has to go up against just an ordinary NFL defense? An ordinary NFL defense would have put pressure on him, not to maybe that extent, but pretty darn close.
Yeah. And after the game, I mean, he was speaking with Holly Rowe. He showed his black and purple arm from getting beat the hell up during that national championship game. So again,
did you think that they cheap shotted him as much as Cignetti said he was?
Oh, yes. When Cignetti said there were some shots and I didn't believe, I don't know what the Miami defensive coordinator or Jason Taylor, who's part of that coaching staff, I don't know if they said, hey, here's what's going to happen. On every friggin' play, you are going to make contact. We're
going to hit him. Yeah.
We're going to get quarterback hits. We're going to get sacks. We're going to get pressures. And he's going to feel our presence the entire game. So I don't know if that's what they said in the locker room, but that's what it felt like watching the game. On every pass, a pass rusher may have taken an extra step and whacked him, just like as if that was the overarching message. Mm-hmm. So, yes, he took a lot of, like, to me, and I was disagreeing with one of the Boy Green Coffee Club members who was talking about it, so I'm sure whoever that is going to immediately rear their head back up. But when he ran an RPO play, and he had the ball in the gut of the running back, and he decided to take it out, he clearly didn't have the ball, and he just jogged a few steps, following through on the quote-unquote fake that he had the ball. A defender went, again, overall message I may have received from my coaching staff. He lowered his helmet and uppercut Fernando in the chin, jaw, mouth area. And I went, what the bleep? Like, okay, even if you thought he had the ball, utilizing your helmet as a weapon in that way is illegal. So that also would have just been a generic penalty from that perspective. But it felt like that guy clearly saw he didn't have the ball. Went, maybe he does have it. Maybe he doesn't.
And no call.
Yeah. So he got beat up a lot, and very few were called during the game. So yes, I agree with Kurt Cignetti. He got beat the hell up. But I appreciate the method acting that Fernando Mendoza endured here to get himself ready for what the Raiders are going to be and all the beating up is going to happen. Let me ask you this from Joey's question. How many games do you think he has to win to quote unquote save his job next year? Is there a win barometer in the sand that you could draw your line so he has to at least get this wins?
Well, I'd like to see who they get, with free agency and who they draft.
Sure, right, of course, right.
But I would think 7 or 8 games. I would think close to 500.
Yeah,
because they're not going to have the quarterback. The quarterback. But even if they were able to draft Mendoza, he can't start right away. He's got to be prepped, and all the best quarterbacks have shown it takes some time. But I would think filling in all the other positions, getting a capable NFL quarterback who can throw the ball and run,
Yes. Sure.
and has enough up here to read defenses and everything else. I would say 7 to 8 in order for him to win his job.
And I'm pretty in there. Again, there's context to everything, of course. So, like, we say 7 or 8, and then
The football
6.
team, it's more than just one player. They can't be just
Sure.
What the Rams have with Stafford is remarkable. That this guy can all by himself, with obviously help from his offensive line, but he can basically be the game changer, the difference maker, and such. But with the Jets next year, they got to solidify a whole bunch of positions, not be a pushover, do a credible job against the run. Don't be, killed in the backfield defensively and such. And such. By the way, I want that kid Pons, even though
the corner,
he's small. I want him. I really want him.
Yeah, he's entered the draft, so he is a part of that conversation for sure. And boy, the Jets could use some playmakers, especially after what we just saw last season. And I agree.
Put him against the slot receiver, and just
sign
turn
me
him
up.
loose.
Yeah, sign me up. I would also agree with the audience that says Fernando's going to start from day one, no matter where he goes. I believe if the Jets trade up for him, they would feel the pressure too much to start him, and so would the Raiders or any team for that matter.
Do you think that would be a mistake, or is that? I mean, you may say to me, well, it depends how he looks in training camp.
Which is fair. You could say that regardless of the quarterback, but no, I mean, from all accounts, Mel Kiper has said it. He just said it on his mock draft that he just released, that Fernando is this super NFL ready quarterback and he can go immediately.
But he's superb in the system. That's
true, right? That's the projection part of it, right? We have right. Alon has said this a lot. Fernando looks great in the Kurt Cignetti system. Put him out. How does he respond? Does he still have all these heroics and all this great player? Does all of a sudden he go into a shell and we're going to be like, whoa, it was Indiana. Whoa, it was Kirk Cignetti.
And they had a great offensive line. We got a really good one.
Yeah,
and they had a really good running game.
Right. No doubt about it. So, again, we will find out the truth of that matter sooner rather than later. Yeah. There's no question about it. By the way, there's 300 people in the room. Please make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Again, also interact with our YouTube poll. Feel free to do so. Again, do you want the Jets to bring back Tyrod Taylor in any capacity whatsoever? That could be starter, bridge, or backup. Let us know. Yes, it can't hurt to have depth, or no, this dude's made of glass. 64% of you said no thanks. No thanks on Tyrod Taylor, which is fine. We'll continue to monitor that poll as we go through this thing.
Hi, Tyrod.
Yeah, it could be very quick here. By the way, a couple of quick plugs. We'll have the phone lines open here shortly as well. Here's our raffle ticket prizes, baby. If you spend $3 on the channel, we do this every single month here on the show. All you have to do is spend $3 on the channel to have an opportunity to win any of these fabulous prizes. One person will win them all and more items, as I'll explain in a second. We have the Mint Flip Coin. That's a piece of jewelry from the National Football League. Comes with a certificate of authenticity. We have a brand new New York Jets polo, a brand new New York Jets rivalry hat, part of our Boy Green Woody tailgate package from this past year, which will include T-shirt, koozies, bottle openers, and things of that nature. Plus, we have our brand new Boy Green merch shop down below. We will pluck a brand new coffee mug and a brand new T-shirt right off the rack and throw that into the prize pool. So again, if you want a chance to win all of those prizes, we'll give that away on February 1st. You have a few more days to get into this month's raffle, and we try to make it as affordable as possible to make it available for as much as you have possible out there in the audience. And then one more plug. We have 2 YouTube membership levels now, folks. We have the Boy Green Coffee Club and the Boy Green Espresso Club. We have our Boy Green first ever Espresso Club meeting coming up later this month. So, folks, if you are not a part of the Boy Green Espresso Club, hit that upgrade button and get members-only content, members-only shorts, and the first ever members-only live stream for the Boy Green Espresso Club. You guys can hit the upgrade button if you're a Boy Green Coffee Club member right now and you want to support even more. Feel free to do that in the top right-hand corner, or you guys can do that with the money sign. That also gives you an upgrade option to jump over to it. So we will have our live stream with only Espresso Club members later this month, where we'll talk about anything you want. Career advice, Jets, NFL, family. Well, we'll see how this first one goes, and it'll be a lax atmosphere.
I would love to do one of those live meetings with everybody and watch Super Bowl 3 and just kind of show it and talk about what happened on each play and why it was important.
100%, which would be pretty cool. So I hope we get a bunch of people that are interested. Yeah, we could do watch along parties. There's a lot of possibilities of things we could do, which is pretty cool. So I hope we get some new activity. Again, we've got a bunch of members already, which I'm very humbled by. But yeah, so join this new level, folks. I'm really excited about it, and it gives us a chance to do some more cool stuff. And speaking of that, I see we have a brand new member to the Boy Green Espresso Club. Shout out to J-Boy, who just joined the mix. Let's friggin' go. Yes. Top of this, J-Boy, so you've just joined the Boy Green Espresso Club, so all of those things are available, and the same for the Coffee Club level. And you get 5 bonus raffle tickets. So again, raffle tickets are normally $3 a piece. The Boy Green Espresso Club is $6, but you get 5 raffle tickets. We're just incentivizing you to join the club so you get bonus raffle tickets for doing this. So J-Boy, thank you so much for joining this new level. We have 12 new members right now to the Boy Green Espresso Club.
That's terrific.
I'm very elated with the response that you guys have had to it, and I can't wait for that first live show. So, folks, that'll be coming up. Again, it'll be a more lax atmosphere, so I hope you guys really enjoyed. You guys can open up a cold one, do whatever you'd like. It's going to be a fun show, so I can't wait for that as it hits us here shortly. So shout out to J-Boy. You now have 5 raffle tickets to our contest. Thank you kindly, sir, and let's go. All right, we've got a lot of activity happening here. Bob, I see we have a super chat. I don't want to miss that. It was right here somewhere. Hopefully I don't miss it. Okay. I see we have an NC Green membership while I'm waiting to go grab that super chat. Here we go, an NC Green membership. Beautiful. NC Green, that's your 12th raffle ticket of the month. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's see. That membership went to Will Mono. Will Mono, you're now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Very much appreciated, good sir. Yes, the Frankie super chat. Here you go. Sorry about that, Frankie. I don't know what happened to my dash card operating a spotlight over here, for Pete's sake. Every once in a while, YouTube gives us an issue or two. So let me highlight your super chat here so we can answer that. Okay, I just had it here. What the? Here it is. Good Lord, have mercy. I'm a monkey operating a spotlight over here, for God's sakes. All right, here we go. Frankie, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, good sir.
Wow.
This is an interesting thing, and let's bring this up. So, Frankie, thank you for the $5 super chat, says, if we're going to give away our entire draft, then trade for Joe B versus giving the picks to Las Vegas. By the way, I'm against both ideas. But I want to go to this because this is fascinating. So, a couple of years ago, we saw the Carolina Panthers trade up from 9-1 with your Chicago Bears in your neck of the woods to get the #1 overall pick. They give up DJ Moore. I mean, they gave up a haul, multiple first-round picks, DJ Moore, to get Bryce Young. And now, hey, by the way, Bryce Young has turned it around, so good for people in Carolina. But the point is that Lamar Jackson was available that offseason. And with the I forget which one it is, exclusive or non-exclusive franchise tag, whichever the one where you give up 2 first-round picks, that was on the table for Lamar. So someone could have taken Lamar, the proven guy, and they would have had to give up a similar package without DJ Moore to get Lamar Jackson. But no one bit. But everyone always wants to bite at the Young thing that we have no idea whether it's going to work or not. Everyone's intrigued by the Bryce Young massive trade-up, or Jared Goff trade-up, or Carson Wentz trade-up. But why not take the real legitimate thing? So, Bob, do you have any interest in trading up from 2-1 and giving up a massive haul to get Fernando versus the veteran option of Lamar Jackson trade or a Joe Burrow trade or whatever these other trades are out in the universe?
Wow. I don't know. There's so many deficiencies that the Jets need to fill.
Mm-hmm.
That just bringing in a quarterback, sell seats, won't
Sure.
win that many games. And all you got to do is look at the Bengals this year. That they had a flourishing offense without Joe Burrows this year, and their defense was an all-time stinker. So the Jets minus Sauce and minus Williams, it ain't much better than what the Bengals were throwing on the field every single week. So, and I remember Mike Ditka as running New Orleans, trading his entire draft to be able to get Ricky Williams. Yeah. 1999, folks, look it up. Unheard of to trade your entire draft, choices for a guy coming out of college who liked to smoke marijuana, unfortunately, a lot.
Yeah, we've all been there. Sure.
Yeah, but no, I'm not. I'm from the slow and steady club. I think if they have the right people and they just show some patience, they can build a team that, in the eyes of Aaron Glenn and of other, general managers and guys who run teams in professional sports. I mean, even in New York, that's what David Stearns is talking about with the Mets. He doesn't want to win one year. He wants to build a team that's consistently going to be in contention, to win.
But it is crazy though. But what Frankie, what he even is suggesting, everyone's talking about this, but no one wanted to trade. Lamar was an MVP and no one was interested. It's not a trade necessarily, I suppose, but in the franchise tag world, where if they signed him to an offer sheet and the Ravens chose not to match, they would have received 2 first-round picks. Lamar is a real thing. We know who Lamar is. Now, I'm not saying there weren't red flags.
If you can get Lamar Jackson for 2 first-round picks and they can't, it would never happen. It's not enough.
Well, but a couple years ago, that was enough. That was like the pre-written thing in the contract. Like, it wouldn't have been a negotiation. It was just, hey, you give us, you sign him to an offer sheet and the Ravens don't match. And maybe there was a world where you study the cap and you poison pill it like Curtis Martin back in the 90s and you figure out a way.
You can't really do that anymore, but yeah.
Right. It's not as easy to do that, but you can look up the cap and see how would it be very difficult for the Ravens to match this. Wow, they have $10 million in cap space. Let's make the first cap hit $75 million so the Ravens can't match it. People could have attempted to do something, but the point is, it's interesting. No one was interested. No one even talked to Lamar. No one even thought about it. And then the Ravens and Lamar work it out, and then Lamar wins another MVP. But it is crazy that no one talks enough about those situations where you give it up for a veteran, proven guy versus the mystery box. Ooh, Bryce Young. Well, who's Bryce Young? Who's any of these guys? CJ Stroud or any of these young guys that we don't know before the draft, but everyone is always willing. The Jets, 6-3, Sam Darnold. Yeah. They give up 3 second-round picks and a first-round pick swap. Yeah, you could have probably done that for a veteran.
There's always going to be that thought that there's kind of an unwritten rule in the league that you don't do that to another team. But there's always someone out there, like when Al Davis was running the Raiders. Al Davis would have said, to heck with what anybody else's unwritten rule willing to do. I want to win. Yeah. Let's just win, baby. Yeah. So Woody's not that type of guy.
Apparently not. Frankie, by the way, 18 raffle tickets for our contest this month. Appreciate it. Oh, but that is a fascinating thought. That was a good, conversation.
Interesting thought. And yes, I'm with you. I'm against the idea of, well, I mean, it depends what the haul is, but training the entire draft, no. I want those 2 fourth-round picks to draft the 2 rookie quarterbacks and let them compete against each other behind the scenes.
Sure, let's sign me up for that activity. That would be
amazing. You heard it here first, last.
Yeah, that's for sure. By the way, also, just another shout out to the Boy Green Espresso Coffee Club that just was joined by J-Boy. Thank you. Guys, if you go to the YouTube post section on our channel, so we have 12 members now to the Boy Green Espresso Club. I am communicating with you guys, and only you guys can see the message. We're trying to hammer out the day and time that you guys want to do this special live stream with just me and you guys. No one else can watch it. No one else can tune in unless they join the Boy Green Espresso Club. So, again, make sure you guys respond to that on day and time you guys would like. I'm thinking at night and somewhere here at the end of the month. So, again, folks, make sure you guys do it. Let's keep that rolling. And look at this. Alon says 65 minutes before we got to phone calls. Way too long. Look at this. The entitlement from the audience. Hey, click, clack. Where's my phone call?
I apologize, Alon. I've just gotten out of control.
Yeah, but look at what is this, prison? He's like, I need my phone call. I need my phone call. Well, I'm sorry, buddy.
Hey, you're not getting on before Hef anyway. So
that's a good point.
We're adding more minutes. You're in the penalty box. You've got more minutes to wait.
Yeah, 100%. Yep, you just lost 5 minutes there, Lon. I'm sorry. That's how it works, buddy boy. All right, let's do this, though. Let's play that Hep timeout. Also, folks, make sure you guys like the video. Again, we have over 300 people watching across our platforms and appreciate that. By the way, shout out to audio-only listeners. I try to give you guys as many shout outs as possible because that's where the roots of the show are. So thank you to those. And also the people that watch on the YouTube replay. Make sure you guys like that video. Over 100 of you are watching of the 300 plus across our social media platforms.
Now I can't wait to hear what Alon is going to tell us.
Oh my God! Apparently that he's like on the edge of his seat, saying, "Come on, I should have been speaking about this 45 minutes ago." I can only imagine. It's probably to praise me as one of the greatest podcast hosts of all time. I should have probably gotten into it sooner, to be honest with you. We'll play a quick half timeout, and Alon and more people next, I suppose. Next.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Bugging daily, bugging daily, bugging daily. Talking Jets football, man. Bugging daily, bugging daily, bugging daily. The New York Jets football club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone, J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets. Boy Green, bugging daily, bugging daily, bugging daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green, bugging daily, bugging daily, bugging daily. Nice. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go!
Welcome back to Boy Green Daily, everybody. I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Again, make sure you guys vote. If you're just coming on in, I know we get people that are flowing in and out of traffic here. Our YouTube poll is up on the Tyrod Taylor situation. If you want to catch back up, you can either rewatch the show immediately, rewatch it later, or read the article in the YouTube description down below as we're talking here, going through some of our other points. Again, every Friday, we're joined by the marvelous Bob Lederer here on the show.
By the way, it's 13 degrees below zero in Chicago right now.
It seems every time I've gone outside the last couple of days, the wind has gotten me as I'm like, whoo. So it is nippy, quite nippy. Yes.
Great time to talk football.
There you go. Bob, can you please give a sterling introduction?
And now here's Hef.
There you go.
Oh, hey, fella.
Yeah, look at that coffee mug. Very nice.
Oh, look at that.
May a toothless yak eat your granny's wheat thins.
Oh, there you go. Oh, well said. Well said.
I couldn't have said it better
good
myself.
morning. That's true. Yeah, good morning, Bob. Yeah.
Good morning, Hef.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, Bob. So I know I've told BG this, Bob, but I want to get your take on it. I think the only way AG saves his job, he goes to Woody and he says, look, I'm 2 years out, dude. We wanted our quarterback. He wasn't there. This team is devoid of talent. What I would do is I would load up on the offense and say I would get Jeremiah Love, the best wide receiver. I would get the center on the second round. Then I would get Nessmeyer, our future backup quarterback,
Nice.
and then possibly get 2 guards. Then you can make the bed for next year. Say we're gonna get Eli Manning as our quarterback coach, and we're gonna draft Arch Manning.
Wow.
We're going to bring him in here. Then we're just going to score a bunch of points this year, Woody. We're not going to – ideally, we're going to lose every game by 1 point. And we're going to sit pretty.
Oh,
and
we're going to lose
more.
every game by more than 1 point. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm just saying, ideally, that would be the situation.
Competing. I understand.
Harry Carey did the Cubs games here for forever and the White Sox before then. And every year before the season would start, and they would ask Harry, what do you think of the Cubs this year? And they would have loaded up on bats. And he would say famously, what about the pitching? And the same thing applies here about their defense. I think they're going to go the opposite. I think they're going to load up, except for a wide receiver, with those high picks. I think they're going defense.
I know,
but that's what I would do.
But I think we've been so devoid. This fan base is so devoid of points and being scored. We're always doing this defensive thing. Once we get behind by 2 touchdowns, we're like, oh, I guess we lost the game.
But all the guys that you mentioned, you didn't say quarterback.
Yeah, but quarterback, what are we going to do with him? Sit him on a bench? That's not going to save
Well,
AG.
but what do you – I'm not talking about a rookie quarterback.
I would get Kyler Murray. I would get Kyler Murray.
Which veteran quarterback?
Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray for the starter. And I would get – it sounds funny, but I would get Flacco. I know he wasn't very good with
I agree with you about Flacco. The guy, look at what the guy did at 40 years old.
Yeah, and he's older now. I think he could mentor a younger guy, and a little bit. He's a little
Hey,
mellow.
he showed if you can protect him, he can take you down the field.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, those are my two guys that I would have, and then Nussmeier as the future backup quarterback, because you need two good quarterbacks in the league nowadays. The season's too long, 17 games. You're bound to get an injury,
Yeah, and they want to go 18.
Yeah, we have to expand the roster, the 53. I don't know what number, but at least make the 53 really 53 all the time.
So no, we're in disagreement. I would not go all offense.
Okay, that's my take.
I think they have to strengthen what they've got and get some better backups for the offensive line. They certainly need a wide receiver. I think they're going to get one both in free agency, probably not a star, and they'll draft somebody really high. Because I think they need to add to what they've got. The two kids that they picked up in trades at the end of the year, well, they're serviceable and they should make the roster. But I don't know if either one of them is really going to be ready to start next year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But no, I like the defense.
Well, this is a defensive draft. They said this is a heavy defensive draft. So, we'll see what happens.
Especially if you get past the first pick.
Yeah,
that's right.
Thanks, guys.
I appreciate you.
Good weekend, Jeff.
Yeah, two things here. First off, again, I'm with have fun offense. That would be a lot of fun, but you must dance with the partner that's available with you. You can't just force offense because that's what you want if that's not what's best. At two, it appears I lean towards Bob. What's best? Give me some Ruben Bain action. He looked disruptive, explosive, and terrific. And there's Arvell Reese people. There's all kinds of people out there in the audience. So you can fight for what you want to fight for. But again, I just want them to dance where it is. Don't force square peg and round hole. If someone else is available and a better fit at a certain position, then take what is best that makes sense. We have a super chat coming in from one of your favorites. It's Jake Asmith.
Wow.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn, have no fear. AG is here. Yes.
I sleep better at night knowing that every night, Jake.
Which is beautiful. You know what, Jake? Let me give you a quick plug, a quick shout out here. Jake Asmith is headed to the Senior Bowl. He'll be live from Radio Row this week at the now Panini Senior Bowl down in Mobile, Alabama, with all kinds of great guests. So, Jake, congratulations. I'm jealous. Senior Bowl is on my bucket list, and so the combine, a couple other things. I can't wait to do that in the future. So I'm glad you're going to be there. I can't wait to tune into the Jake Asmith Show all week long with all your terrific guests, with prospects and insiders and everything else. So I will be very much tuning in. Jake, congratulations on that, and thank you for the super chat as well. We have Aaron Glenn. I could just see the pom-poms.
Jake wanted to go anywhere warm to get out of New York.
It's smart. Alabama, I imagine it's a lot warmer
Jake,
than
get out before Sunday, because New York. I've got people flying into New York on Sunday. It's going to be a disaster.
So there you go. Yeah, get out ASAP if you can. But again, I could just see it with Jake with the pom-poms. AG, have no fear. AG is here. This is great. It's great to see this optimistic side.
Jake can ask everybody there. Do you think I'm right or do you think I'm right about Aaron Glenn? Or tell me why I'm right about Aaron Glenn not shouldn't be the coach.
Okay. I want to ask you this, Bob. What do you believe the over-under is for Jake on his guests? He's going to have a lot of guests that join him on the show. How many of his guests is he going to ask, what does AG do well as a coach? What do you think the over-under is?
He's going to be there the whole week.
It sounds like it, the whole week. And so doing
two shows,
Radio Row.
A morning and an afternoon show, right?
Twice a day, multiple days, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to guess he's going to have 28 guests.
Wow, okay.
And I will say that he will ask 25 of them.
What does AG do well as a coach? And here's the other thing, because Jake did this at the combine, and again, he does marvelous content. So he does his shows, but also, like when he was at the Super Bowl, he was trying to crank out as many interviews as possible. So some people have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So he put out even more content. So he is killing it. So
you know what? I'm going to amend what I said, because you're right. He will do that because he has to do that, because the kind of guests he's going to have aren't going to have a half an hour to spend.
Right. So like Ian Rapport or something, he could have him for
now my
10 or 15 minutes or something.
My number is now 52.
52. And you would take the over or under on that?
I'll take the over on that.
Okay, over on that. There you go. So you would take the over on that.
So he's got 20 shows.
Yeah.
If you want to count, maybe he's going to. When does the Senior Bowl thing start? On Monday?
Well, I guess it depends on how you perceive when it starts. Players arriving, measurements,
the game is
practices.
Saturday, right?
Yeah, the game's Saturday, and then they do practice. I believe
So
normally practice start on Wednesday, Tuesday,
he'll
Wednesday.
do 2 shows a day for 5 days. Maybe he'll do one more show beyond that.
The weather is in the 40s or 50s, he says, in Alabama. So even that will be relatively cool.
And I'll bet you he'll tape additional interviews because
I
not
agree.
everyone is going to be
Sure.
available, during the time that Jake is on the air.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take over 52, Jake. Go ahead. Show me I'm wrong.
I just need him at one point just to give a wink to the camera, give me a little Bob Lederer action when he does this. What does AG do well as a coach? And then just like break the fourth wall for a second, then look back. There you go. We appreciate that. Great stuff there from Jake. All right, let's keep the phone lines rolling here on the program. Excellent. All right, it's another legend here, Mr. Famous Fulton. Wow, those sunglasses.
Good morning, Paul. How are you this morning?
I'm doing blessed. How are you, my friend? What are you on the way to work?
Yeah, good. Just arrived.
Got to get me some shades like that.
Yeah. Sweet.
So I won't have my basketball tournament this Sunday because we're having a big snowstorm this week.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just gonna be canceled or rescheduled. So
Okay. What about the parade for the Indiana National Championship, baby? Who's yours?
I think they're gonna have it inside because of the cold. So I think it's gonna be in a basketball stadium or something like that.
Oh, cool. Well, like a pep rally sort of thing. All right, that makes sense.
Yep.
What else is on your mind, Mr. Famous Fulton?
Just gotta get to work and get stuff done.
Sure.
And then gotta go to a shop today. So,
okay.
And then basketball. So,
okay. Well, here you go. You go, Mr. Famous Fulton. You have a great day.
Yep. Thanks. You too, Paul.
Good weekend.
There he is. Wow. There he is, the legend. He cometh and then he goeth. Ah, yes, Mr. Famous Fulton. Now I am on the edge of my seat for this.
Uh-oh.
This man has been patiently waiting. What is this? Let me do the math. That's 76 minutes and 53 seconds. What? It's got to be praise. I got to get the applause right. It's got to be for me.
And that's just his presence. What is he going to tell us?
Oh boy, I can only imagine. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, let's get a drum roll, please. Here he is. Patriots in the Super Bowl. Ah, that's disgusting. All right, Alon, good morning.
Yeah. Alon, good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Do I think I'm entitled? I do. I'm one of the chosen people. So pretty much that's pretty much
appreciate the acceptance, sir. That's beautiful.
And 77 minutes is way too long. So I'm just going to be honest.
I'm so
transparent.
sorry. Yeah. Okay. Appreciate
it. Two things.
Yes.
I'm glad the leaking has dissipated from this organization.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right.
But the lack of transparency within the organization is why I have no confidence in what's going on at one.
Can you explain that difference, Alon, for our audience? So of no leaks, but no transparency, and how those two things make you feel differently.
Let me give an example. The 33rd team's candidates last year, the final candidates, might have been one of the worst group of candidates I have ever seen in my life.
Can you remind us? Because I forgot.
Oh, yeah. I that had to have been a graphic somewhere, I think.
Glenn and Flores and what's it called? The guy from Mike Loxley and
Maryland. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
And, awful. Okay. Especially when you see guys like Ben Johnson taking this Chicago job and Liam Cohen taking the Jacksonville job, and apparently Kingsbury not interested in this job. The problem is when you're not being transparent with your fan base, and your fan base is wondering, this is what we're dealing with. That's the problem. And the problem being is the Jets have become the Browns and the Cardinals. Is that me? I'm not sure.
I think that might be Bob.
That's me.
Okay.
Okay.
The Jets have become the Browns and the Cardinals in terms of effectiveness. And unfortunately, that doesn't change until something drastic happens with this organization. And maybe it has to be the owner selling the team, because right now the organization is such a laughing stock that coaches, I'm talking about mid-tier coaches, are rejecting interviews with the Jets, especially if you look at the 8 guys who are on that list for DCs. Sir. Can you imagine how many calls were either laughed at or hung up on for Muji and Glenn? I think it's important for the upper management to be transparent with this with this fan base, to the point where we just need to know where we sit, because right now this organization is at a standstill as far as getting good candidates and star candidates. And until that changes, I just don't see anything else positive happening with this organization.
Jim Leonard's coming home, baby. Jim Leonard is coming home. And I am looking forward to the apologies from all the Jet fans in the universe that said it was just a courtesy call and just a this or that, because I'll be here waiting for you in this seat right next to me. Old Jimmy Leonard's going to be sitting here in a couple of days. It's going to be beautiful, Alon. It's going to be beautiful.
Paul, if you show up on Tuesday morning like this.
Oh, he will. He will.
And then a surprise
because Jim Leonard has decided to become the DC for
the Chargers.
No,
but Alon, I think you have answered our question that we spent too much time talking about and held you up for 76 minutes.
That's true.
You've explained why the Jets have not been willing to talk about who they're interviewing.
Unfortunately, you have to be honest with your fan base.
Right. But I think the reason is that they don't want to be embarrassed publicly by anybody saying, I don't want to talk to these guys. I mean, the embarrassment, when I picked up the paper yesterday, before what's his name got the Baltimore job yesterday as the head
Jesse
coach.
Minter. Yeah.
The comments that Minter made about turning down Cleveland. What a slap in the face.
And that's the second one. Mike McDaniel was the other. That said, hey, Cleveland.
The Cleveland Browns franchise. I mean, that's a stalwart franchise. The owner may be terrible, but that's a stalwart franchise.
Very proud franchise. Sure.
Yeah.
The Jets have become the Browns and the Cardinals. It's sad to say. And unfortunately, you need to change the narrative. I'd rather have the Jet organization be transparent with this fan base rather than the media just making a mockery of the Jets. And I think that's where the Jets have failed.
How do you separate the two and make it one and not the other?
Because I think the Jets need to be honest with its fan base and take the narrative out of the media's hands. Because right now the media can say whatever they want and the Jets are saying nothing in return. And they're allowed, it's pretty much, the media has become like the National Enquirer when it comes to the Jets, okay? They can say whatever they want, and there's no pushback from the Jet organization. And until there is pushback, or until somebody comes out and says, this person wasn't interested in this, you got to be honest with your fan base. And unfortunately, the Jets have not been honest with their fan base.
So do you pay any attention to the National Hockey League?
I do.
Okay. So, for the second time in 7 years, the Rangers sent the New York Rangers.
I did see what Drury said.
All of their fans who have season tickets and saying, "Hey guys, by the time the trade deadline comes around in a couple of weeks, you won't recognize our roster anymore." But
I would rather have the Jets do that, than have the media be the narrative.
And it was a shock the first time. And this year it got some attention, but nobody was saying or lambasting them for doing it because they're playing terribly.
Yes.
So quick follow-up point. So Alon, you're saying that, because again, we don't know who these, specifically Connor Hughes report, 2 big name fish. The Jets said, what do we have to lose? Fuck it. Let's reach out to them. And they were like,
I would say it.
No. You want us to know who those people
I want us to know. I want us to know.
I don't want to.
I do.
That's just
I think the Jets, I think the fan base needs to know how rock bottom it is. I do.
But why would that benefit the Jets to reveal that? That's embarrassing information to share.
I think it's important for the fan base to understand where the Jets currently stand within the league. I do.
I think
For
they
what
do.
I
I
would
think
rather
they do,
have-
but it would just reinforce what people.
But for
Unfortunately,
what
would
purpose? Why
reinforce
would
it,
I
but
want that
no,
as a Jets fan?
because
Why,
right now,
or a
all
Jets
you
team,
keep
rather?
hearing is hearsay. All you keep hearing is the media naming names or even bringing up people. And
Sure.
I'd rather have the Jets control the narrative. I would.
They did. They dropped the 8 people they spoke with, and that's who we spoke with.
Yeah, but
on
you
their
got,
time,
you gotta
in
be
their
honest,
way.
because the 8 people that came out, I can't
Yeah.
imagine how many people said "fuck you" pretty much.
Yeah, I
I
have no
think-
idea. We don't know. Connor, you
I
said
think there
2,
are
and
more
Zach said it
people
was
than
a lot
2.
more than 2.
I
That's
think
what
there are
Zach
more
Rosenblatt
people than 2.
reported.
But that's the first point I have. I think the Jets need to be honest.
Alon,
with it.
what do you think of the completely invisible quarterback coach search, if there is one?
It's a joke. You got to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a joke what's going on there. Because do I think that Charles London will be on the Jets staff in 2020?
No.
I do.
I think he'll be a running backs coach.
I think
Well,
he will
sure,
be
reassigned to get
he will be
coffee. There's no
reassigned.
way.
Oh, yeah.
There's
He's
no way he
somebody's
can be
buddy.
the quarterback's coach
He
again.
will
He is
be
somebody's buddy,
reassigned
probably
within the
Aaron's buddy.
organization.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to be honest with people. And the idea that they're waiting so long for Charles London to be reassigned or to be fired is a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, I don't understand that. So that's one I would, in terms of transparency, again, the explanation for the defensive coaching staff makes all the sense in the world. And we got it through all these other conversations. AG does not want to start firing random assistants. He wants to hire a DC, and that DC should be a part of that conversation. Totally makes sense. Sure, all those people will stay in limbo. They're under contract anyway. They have no choice. Sort of sucks for them because I'm sure they'd like to immediately look for other work if they're not going to get hired by the Jets. But hey, sucks to suck. That's the business that we're playing in here. So it is what it is. But the offensive thing doesn't make any sense. By all accounts, Tanner Engstrand is safe. So if the main point of contact is safe on offense, what is stopping you from, hey, Charles, grab a box and get out, or any other? I have no idea how many other changes are potentially coming. That's the one to me that doesn't make sense.
The lack of chatter is why the Jets right now are perceived as a joke around the league. Okay. The idea that he is still employed is a joke. So one other comment, and
Sure.
I read it in the chat earlier.
Okay.
Please no Ty Simpson at 16. Please.
Well, what about thanks for Ty? He has made this account for some time.
The lack of talent the Jets have throughout the organization, the thought of drafting a quarterback at 16 and sitting him for the entire year just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. If you have a top 16 pick, that guy needs to play right away. I don't want a quarterback at 23 years old with 15 starts to be drafted 16th overall and sit this season when you don't even know if Glenn's going to be here for year 3. Okay. I would rather the Jets, again, I've said this many times, I'd rather the Jets draft Nussmeier, hopefully if they can trade down of 33 and maybe pick up an early third. I would rather do that than draft Ty Simpson at 16 when there is a lack of talent throughout the entire organization. The talent base to me is bottom 5 in the league. It's barren. The defense is a joke, and there are definitely holes on the offense. The thought of drafting a guy who has 15 collegiate starts, 16th overall, just makes no sense to me. And I continue to get bothered by people who continue to bring it up. I don't want him on this team. I hope for his sake he gets to go to the Rams, can sit behind Stafford for a year, and at 25 years old, he could start for McVay. That's the perfect scenario for him. Him with the Jets would be laughable.
Yeah, I could probably only count on one hand how many times I've agreed with Alon in my entire life on this planet. But the thing that I agree with you is, let's say they take him at 16, which I assume he's still going to be on the board at 16. I'd be surprised if he wasn't, but hey, who knows? Crazy shit happens, I guess. If they drafted him and said, hey, man, you're not playing this year, and then AG stinks this year and wins 4 games, he gets fired, and the next guy comes in and goes, who the hell is this? I'm getting my own guy. And then we lit a first-round pick on fire. So
that's exactly what they're doing.
If he doesn't see the field. Now, if they're, halfway through the year, he sees the field and shows either upside or terribleness, then you sort of have at least results to look at as opposed to not. But right, Rich Cimini brought up the stat of college quarterbacks that come out with fewer than 20 starts, and their success level, the success list is very short. I'd be more up in the Simpson because, again, if somehow, again, it happens, right? Geno Smith fell to 39, insert quarterback fell to this, insert quarterback fell to this. If Ty's here at 33 and the Jets are gung-ho about it, all right. I value the 33rd overall pick in a different way that I'd prefer a different path.
You better love that guy if you're going to take him at 33.
Oh, I agree, because I think 33 is so valuable. You could trade it and get all kinds of assets. You could just take a other position. First rounders fall out of or top players fall out of the first round all the time and then are just sitting there available. And not we as draft people, because we are draft fans, I guess, but the draft analysts are like, oh my God, look at all this talent that's just sitting there at 33. It'd be a unique opportunity. So yeah, they better be pretty gung-ho about Ty. So again, I can only count probably on one hand how many times I've agreed with Alon.
Alon, what did you think of my crazy idea of taking Nussmeier and Allard late?
No, I have no
the
desire.
draft?
First of all, I think Drew Aller is a broken man. I think he will go round 5 or 6. He has so many flaws in his game. I just don't think the problem with him right off the bat is he lacks confidence in the way he plays.
Okay.
His footwork is absolutely horrendous. I would rather take a Nussmeier. I know he's undersized. I bet you he'll be measured under 6'1", but he's a tough kid. He has that pedigree as his father is the OC in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I would take him in round 3. I don't know if he even gets to round 3. He might be a late 2. I would rather take a guy like that and pair
he's
him
at the
up with
Senior Bowl
veteran.
next week or this week,
He
rather.
is.
So, yeah.
Drew Aller needs to be completely reprogrammed. And the Jets organization, the way it's currently constituted, lack that. And I don't want Drew Aller absolutely near this organization. I would take one quarterback. I would take Nussmeier, pair him with a veteran, and go from there. But again, please no Ty Simpson at 16. You have 4 picks in the top 44. Hopefully you're able to parlay that into more picks. Maybe you can trade down from 33. Maybe you could trade down from 16. You need to fill plenty of holes, especially on that defense. That defense is absolutely a joke. It's a joke. Okay.
The one thing I want to add here on this quarterback evaluation thing is I think we all need to look at ourselves in the mirror, even though we're not the ones making the pick. But like last year, for instance, it just keeps ringing in my head. And because, all these people are going to be doing all these live events at the Senior Bowl and everywhere else, is that the thought of Jackson Dart being drafted by the Jets was openly talked about, but it was openly like, oh, God. First round? Absolutely not. That would be an overdraft. And all these other things. And a lot of us reacted. Again, there were some Jackson Dart fans out there in the audience, whoever you were, God bless, tip of the cap to you. But I remember Trevor Sikkema joining the one and only Jake Asman at his thing, and they talked about this openly, and Trevor's like, I don't know, man, 2nd round, 3rd round. And like they were just talking about what he was. And obviously, Jackson Dart was way better than any of us thought. So I just think this is a self-reflection process of what did we miss with Jackson Dart? I'm not saying he's an unquestioned bona fide superstar quarterback, but obviously he showed some chutzpah this year. And my comment or question to my own head is, what did we get wrong as fans? Because to me, he wasn't on my radar as a guy I wanted based on all the intel that we gathered. So again, Ty Simpson is this guy that is unattractive for a lot of these reasons that we talked about. Are we Jackson darting again, that we're overlooking something? That's sort of where my head's at right now.
I don't think the Jets have the current regime that would benefit a Ty Simpson or a Trinidad Chambliss. Even though he got fired, I think Brian Daboll was a big factor in why they took Jackson Dart, and a reason why Brian Daboll might be the next head coach in Buffalo. Even though people laugh at him, he's still a really smart offensive mind. There's no smart offensive minds in this organization right now. And the lack of offensive regime talent in terms of coaching is why I have no interest in taking a Simpson or a Chambliss high. Again, I would rather take him late 2, early 3 and bring in a veteran and see where it goes from there. This organization is so far away from mediocre. You got to build the roster. And that's my final point. And you can, looking forward to listening to other people, but
real quick. I mean, I guess you deserve to be entitled and to wear the crown. I mean, obviously, look at all the points that Alon brought up. So, yep. All right. Well deserved. We need to get to you quicker than 74 minutes.
Shabbat shalom, and trust me, Jim Leonard is not coming here, Paul.
I tend to agree with you.
He's coming for sure. Thank you, Alon. There he is, Alon joining us. He's coming. He's 100% coming.
It's going to be Wink.
Well, I don't know how I feel about that yet. I'm not sure how
I don't know how I feel about it either. I mean, I know how I feel about it, but I don't see any of the young coordinator. I can't see like the number 2 guy at Minnesota.
Durante Jones, right?
Yeah. Now that the boss has been rehired,
for now,
it's a head coaching job,
which is crazy, right? So here's another one, right, that we didn't even think about. We'll go to more calls here. So Mike McDaniel was hired by the Chargers as their offense coordinator. We're all like, oh, okay, he's off the board. Whoa. Mike McDaniel's interviewing in Buffalo. So technically, even though he just took an OC job, because technically a head coach would be a promotion, he is allowed to go jump. So if Buffalo just hired Mike McDaniel, now the Chargers would once again be looking for an offensive coordinator. So to go to Flores, he has been hired as defensive coordinator, but he could just leave.
Is that the rumor that Mike McDaniel might go to Buffalo?
Yeah, he's interviewing. So that the rumor is he's actually interviewing for the head coaching gig, and thus he could leave. So it's still open, but it's just sort of curious how all this is working. So we'll see. Durante Jones, who is the top lieutenant in Minnesota and interviewed with the Jets and Cowboys for that matter, he's another guy that I believe Adam Schefter reported he had a second interview with the Jets. So he's in the finalist category. Chris Harris and Durante Jones, the only 2 I know that have done a second interview with the Jets based on the reporting. So we'll see. Again, maybe they're truly waiting here for Jim Leonard, which would make a lot of sense to at least attempt to talk to him, which again could come in place on Monday. We have 400 people in the room. Let's keep rolling down. Up next is the Lane Train.
Oh, hi, Paul Boy.
Hello, Lane.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, Lane Train. God bless. How are
Bob.
you?
Good morning, Bob. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, I mean, you first have to talk about, like the Jets. I don't know. I mean, the last caller said that, you have all these draft picks. If you don't get Mendoza, you could get Eric Flores. But yeah, I mean, if you get Flores, do you think he'll do good at coming out of the draft?
Brian Flores you're talking about?
Yeah.
I like Brian Flores. Or
Why
who, Flores?
Say Eric Flores.
I don't know. Maybe that's his brother?
Yeah.
But
Brian Flores played in college, and so this year was the same old Jets. I mean, I was watching the games and stuff, and I was like, it felt like every year we could not win ever since 1998.
Yeah, it's been tough. Yeah, it's been tough. That AFC Championship game, yeah.
And if you take from all the rankings going into the mock draft, it's who do you take? Do you take CJ Crone out of college, or do you take or you have to trade for Drake May?
Wait, who? CJ who? Stroud you're talking about?
Yeah, CJ Stroud. Do you draft him?
He's coming off a very, very uninspiring performance in the playoffs. I'm not sure if he's on the top of my bingo card at quarterback. I'm not sure about that.
I don't think he's available, even if unless they can get a really great quarterback from another team, then they would make Stroud available.
Right.
I don't think that they said. I don't see Justin Fields staying next year because the way he played his first year, he didn't have it.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think so.
I think he's going with our quarterback coach somewhere.
And,
maybe.
Yeah, and I cannot leave out the snowstorm on Sunday. I was in a supermarket and there was no food. Also where I was working yesterday. Everything was there was so many cars in the.
Where do you work, Lane Train? What do you do?
I work in Trader Joe's in Oceanside, Long Island.
Oh, cool! Oh, that's awesome.
The most biggest store, yeah.
Is it? Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, they have a lot of food. But if you go into and also the Giants hired.
Yeah.
From Baltimore, John
Harbaugh. Yeah, John Harbaugh. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he'll do good going into next year, and the Giants could take. I forgot who they'll draft. They have who do they have that they could pick up in the draft?
They have the
going
5th
into-
overall pick, so they probably go front 7 player. I could see they could go wide receiver because Malik
because they
Neighbors
need
is
somebody,
there by
yeah.
himself. So
Blake,
yeah, they could go that way.
Yeah, Blake Neighbors.
Yeah.
And like, and like, I was thinking that like, you know, you have to like, they really got to move the ball next year.
We can
You
only
know,
hope, Lane Train. We can only hope. I appreciate the call, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good weekend, Lane.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, thank you. There he is. Lane Train joining us. A one-stop shop on Boy Green Daily. Toot, toot. We have MFC, who's mother effing chew. We have Lane Train. We got a lot of train activity happening here on the program, no question. So shout out to the Lane Train. Thank you. Cool. Trader Joe's. Nice. All right. Good gig there. Food. I'm starving now. It's making me hungry. All right. Let's go back to the phone lines. Troy Sturgis is up next. Troy.
Morning, Troy.
Hey, morning, guys. Hey,
Looks like you're dressing to go out somewhere cold.
I am going outside, and it is freezing already. The weather ain't even hit here yet.
Seems that way.
Hey, anyway, I was just going to say, Bob, I liked your idea about Woody maybe coming out and giving some type of press conference to the Jets fans, of course, to kind of put some
the only
Face
press conference I want to hear Woody involved in is one where he announces that he is bringing in a president of football operations and having him fortify the upper echelons of the administration
you said earlier about having faith in Aaron Glenn. I think that would go a little ways on helping some of the coaching searches, but honestly, I think that I still, like I said before, I think Aaron and Muji and Woody have all gotten together, basically knew that this was going to be.
Don't you agree? Don't you agree, Troy, that the less that Woody is involved in the franchise's football business, the better?
Hey, real quick follow-up, boys. You know, we just saw a Terry Pagula Buffalo Bills press conference. Are we sure that a Woody Johnson press conference is the best idea?
Well, I mean, he may look stupid, but if he gets Mike McDaniel with him and Josh Allen, oh my God.
Yeah, right. I guess that's true.
That could be dangerous. Maybe he does know what he's talking about.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But anyway, okay, I got something I'd like to run by you guys. I'm thinking Ruben Bain as a first pick. This is if we do not throw everything we got at for
of course, right.
Which I would be okay with, I guess.
If they can get two really good defensive players in the top 16,
which they could,
I'd be thrilled.
I'd venture to guess.
My picks would be Ruben Bain as a first, and hopefully that Sonny Styles.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking the same thing when you just 100% out of Ohio State. Yes.
Yeah, back-to-back defense, and you could actually this kid, he covers. That's something that we struggle with the tight end with all the time. We all know that we can't cover a tight end, and he's big, he's fast, he'd just be an outstanding fit with Sherwood.
I love that idea, Troy. Again, when you said double defense, my first thought was like in my head, Ruben Bain, Sonny Styles. Get a front seven guy, get another guy who also would be in the front seven in the linebacker role. Get him at both layers of your defense. Oh, man, that would be exciting.
And what do you think about, as a mentor quarterback, somebody that we're bringing in, do we need to have a mentor quarterback? Say we pick up Trinidad in the second round.
Sure.
And do we need a Kyler Murray, or could we go Kirk?
I wouldn't mind Kirk Cousins. That'd be fun.
Do you have to have that running style mentor, or what do you think about that?
Well, they want somebody that they can do the run option with, right? And he'd be able to do that. I'm just, again, until they get a quarterback coach, I agree with Alon. I have no confidence that they would be able to work with any kid coming out of college and transform him in any amount of time. into somebody we could feel good about.
Well, the thing is they had that. They had Justin Fields to do the option.
Yeah, but
Well,
they
they
didn't have the
only
coaching.
used it the first game.
But they didn't have
that's true.
Troy, they didn't have the coaching, to transform him and let him play quarterback, which is what they said exactly what they wanted him to do. No one has ever allowed him to be a quarterback, they said.
Well, I don't think anybody's allowed him because he's like, well, I don't want to do that. So how much of that was on him and how much was that on our coordinator?
It's as mental, I would say, as it is physical, maybe more so. Justin Fields is afraid to throw the football.
And I don't believe Aaron Glenn's getting fired this year unless he goes 0-17.
Really?
Or maybe even 1-16. The three of us could run out there and win 4 or 5 games, and we have no idea what we're doing. You can run into games, I think.
Sure.
But, look at Glenn. He ran into 4. Or 3, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting fired. And I think Glenn knows this is going to, Woody knows this is going to be a long ordeal. But, after we do have this draft and the 2027 draft and going into 2028, I know that's a few years down the road, but now all of a sudden our organization, these coaches that are saying, no, I don't want to be here anywhere near, are going to be saying, hey, how can I get in there?
Mm-hmm.
Just think of hopefully they draft decent and correctly and make all these changes, but I believe that there won't be a coaching change till 2028.
Hey, Troy, what do you do for a living?
Maintenance. Well, when I'm maintenancing. But I do a lot of things. I work on a lot of different stuff. But anyway, hey, I got to get off here. I just thought I'd call in.
Have a great weekend.
Appreciate it. You're the best, Troy. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Hey, I see we have a special guest in the audience. Let me highlight a comment here. Where is he? Oh, look, it's MC Show Digital. The more Woody talks, the worse things will get. That's probably for the best. By the way, I want to give a quick plug here. Thank you for MC Show Digital. That's my partner, Jim Lurch, for the show we do together. And folks, let me pull this up here. Here it is. We are 20 subscribers away from 500, which is the first level of monetization on YouTube. So, folks, if you're not subscribed to this channel, do it right now. Maybe I'll also share the link in the YouTube comment section. So make sure you guys subscribe. And we're giving away a $400 golf club if you're one of our next 20 subscribers. So I don't know if there's any golfers out there. I know it's cold weather, so it's hard to even remember any of those times. But feel free to get yourself in that headspace. I just shared the direct link in the comment section, so you guys should be able to click that YouTube link I just put in there if you want to jump right on over, whether that's on Facebook or YouTube. Again, youtube.com/@MC Show Digital. We do our Jake Asman interviews over there, NFL live shows, draft, all kinds of fun stuff. Make sure you guys head on over. That's youtube.com/@MC Show Digital. If you're one of our first 500 subscribers, you're in the running for a $400 golf club. So it's a high bore Cleveland driver. So folks, if you want some of that action, jump on in and again, help us get to 500 as quickly as possible. So that'd be sweet. We are 20 subscribers away.
The sun came out here. It's now minus 14 degrees.
Hey, there you go. Rays of positivity and optimism. It must have been because Alon called in earlier. That's the only
exactly. It's still permeating all over us.
I can feel it. It's beautiful. So thank you. So again, one more shout out here, and then we'll continue down our phone call train again. Be one of the next. Ooh, baby, we just got another one. Okay, we're 19 subscribers away. Maybe it'll happen live here on the show. I love the celebration, jubilation, elation, words that end in shun. That's what I like to see, baby. So keep it rolling, guys. Hit that subscribe button right there on the channel. We'll hit that a few times before we get out of here. We'll have a couple more guests coming here on the show. All right, up next, it's your boy 04 Jets fan who loves the color orange just like Troy Sturgis. All right, beautiful.
How you guys doing this morning?
Excellent.
Good morning,
I like the shades,
04.
too. Yeah, look at that. Let me get a zoom in on that. Look at those shades. Nice. Killer.
I just wanted to talk about the draft. I agree with the Ruben Baines at 2, Arvell Reese at 2.
Okay.
But let's talk about 16.
All right.
Let's talk about the kind of guys that could be there.
Okay.
Potentially Mekhi Lemon.
Sure.
A Caleb Downs.
Maybe.
McDonald, the defensive tackle from Ohio State.
Yeah, Cade McDonald. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sonny Styles.
All right.
What's the one cornerback they've been talking about going high mid-round first?
There's 2 guys, Mansour Delane, and then there's Jamad McCoy.
Delane.
Jamad McCoy did not play this past year because of the torn ACL, but he's highly regarded. So those are the 2.
Okay, so either of those 2 guys could be there. Is there a position you don't want to see at 16? We're not talking quarterback. We're not talking quarterback.
I'm probably against guard. If the Jets punt on both John Simpson and AVT to take a guard at 16, even though the Jets traded up, ironically, to around the 14-16 range for AVT last time, I'm cool not doing that. So I'd wait if they want to do a guard in the mid rounds or center to compete with Josh Myers. I'm totally copacetic with that. I'd probably avoid that at 16, but you could sell me on defensive tackle, edge rusher, off-ball linebacker, Caleb Down safety, corner, quarterback, even running back. If Jeremiah Love was there, why? I mean, literally now the more I think about it, like almost every other position on the team outside of punter, kicker, and guard are probably the only 3 I've long snapper. Okay, there's 4. There's 4 I've eliminated from the 16th overall pick. Everything else I'm probably pretty copacetic with.
Is there a player you would prefer? I know we always talk about Sonny Styles. It seems like he probably would be the preferred the 16th overall pick for the Jets.
Yeah.
But other than him,
I'm a big Jeremiah Love guy with Lou B. Notre Dame Golden Domer. Again, that would piss a lot of people off.
By 16.
Maybe. We'll see. Running backs slip in the draft all the time, so maybe we get a little bit of lucky. Hey, Breece Hall was supposed to be a first-round pick, and he slipped all the way to the 30s, so maybe. We'll see. Again, Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson both went with the top 12 pick, so, Bob could totally be right. But Jeremiah Love would be on my bingo card for sure. We've heard a lot of Mekhi Lemon in the audience. They would love that pick at 16 if he's there, of course. Again, Tank for Ty is in our audience. He wants Ty Simpson at 2 overall, let alone 16, for God's sake. So he wants him no matter where he can get him, which is interesting. But you mentioned Katie McDonald. That's a fun one in the middle of the defense on the defensive line. I haven't found the pass rusher I love at 16 yet. If they go in that direction, I've looked through some of the names. No one jumps out to me that I believe is actually going to be there at 16. So there's Caleb Downs would be a fun one. You mentioned him. If he fell in the range because of positional value, that would be an insane grab for the Jets.
If he was there, he would be my pick.
100%.
He's highly intelligent defensive back. He can play any position you want him to, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Does he specialize as a box safety? Yes. Mm-hmm. But can he play a center field rangy kind of guy? Absolutely. Ohio State used him all over the place last year, and he was effective in every role they gave him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before I get off here, I was thinking about it, and it's kind of a funny kind of thing.
All right.
The Jets, we have 4 bites at the first pick next year.
Yeah.
With our pick, Indy, and the better of the 2 between the Packers and Dallas.
Right, yep.
The odds are so long it'll never happen. But how funny would it be for the Jets to end up with picks 1, 2, and 3?
Oh my. That would be it's never happened before in NFL history. I could say that with the utmost confidence. And to think what you could do if that happened, Jeremiah Smith, your Ohio State buddy, pluck him. The quarterback of your choice, whoever that is, Arch Manning or anyone else, your boy Julian Sand, if you want to keep the Ohio State thing going, if you wanted to go in that direction, and then pick your best defender or a different position. I mean, that would be wild. But hey, again, I don't root for injuries, but Micah Parsons being out for a chunk of the Packers season affects them. Daniel Jones' Achilles exploding. I don't know when he's going to come back. I would be very surprised. Sorry to Bobby Jr. out in the audience. I'd be very surprised if Daniel Jones was ready to go week 1, and I think they're going to re-sign him and keep him. He's a free agent.
Yeah, I don't know if he plays next year.
Yeah, right. He could totally possible. So he may not even play, but he definitely won't be ready for week 1, which again benefits the Jets. But again, I don't try to push people down the stairs. I don't want anyone injured, but if it benefits the Jets, push 100%, Bob. 100%. That's it. Yep.
I mean, that was like I said, the odds are so long.
That was
it'll never happen.
That's very nice. Yeah.
It'd never happen, but it would just be absolutely hilarious that the cards would fall in such a way that the Jets benefit from an all-time screw-up by these other teams, including the Jets.
Yeah.
It's going to have to. Well, we have Aaron Glenn, so as Jake Asman would say, nothing to worry about.
And the thing I would just say is, so right, that would be cool. 1, 2, 3. Blessed be he.
Yeah, not going to.
What I would hope for, if that would happen, that'd be cool. But the next, hopefully, most realistic thing to happen is that you have that many lottery tickets, and you hope one of them hit. One of them is a number 1 pick would be great, but a top 3 pick where you have control. We don't want to be picking those 3 picks or 5, 6, 7. You have to give up your firstborn child to move up to get one of the quarterbacks. And that's a tough position to be in, because even if you have the conversations, fine, I'll give up my firstborn son. And they're like, well, that's still not enough. Like, then you're like, well, then what do you do?
If they have a top 3 pick and somebody else in the top 10,
right?
Which they've had before,
right?
That would be an optimum scenario.
And just imagine this, right? What if the team's picking 1, 2, 3? Jets are picking 4, and then 5, 6. It doesn't matter. But they're picking 4. None of their picks are the top 3. What if the top 3 teams all need quarterbacks? The Jets are fucked. There's nothing you can offer. Now, sometimes that's not true. Again, we go back to the Carson Wentz, Jared Goff year. The Browns had the number 2 overall pick. They desperately needed a quarterback, and they traded it. So sometimes dumb organizations do stupid things. So maybe it could happen. But for the most part, in a realistic scenario, it's not going to happen. So, yeah, you really need to get lucky with the draft. And we'll see if we got any 4-leaf clovers shoved in certain orifices if we can make that happen.
Well, gentlemen, I wish you a fantastic weekend.
Thank you.
Stay warm.
I got you.
Good advice. Thank you, 04.
And
you do the same.
Have fun.
There he is, and beautiful orange color, by the way. Back-to-back orange. All right, what are the chances our next guest is also wearing orange? That would be quite that'd be impressive if we could make that happen. We'll see if it does. I don't believe so, unless an Oompa Loompa is about to jump off from off stage in camera. I don't believe this is about to happen. So let's go to our next guest. It is a Bob Lederer favorite. It is my pop's favorite shipmate, Devin, a.k.a. DNY for life.
Devin.
Good morning, Bob. Good morning. Good morning, BG.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? BG,
I wish I could hand deliver the book I promised you tomorrow, but
there you go. Yeah, autographed and such.
So it's all good, Bob. It'll be.
Thank
here.
you for living up to your promise from early in the season and ordering it. And
see,
please let me know what you like or don't like about it.
Will do. I gotta be honest with you. I think I'm gonna try to have it squeeze in some time to try to get that book read, but maybe a little bit at a time.
There you go.
Because time is limited in my life right now.
It'll warm you up on these cold winter days.
Oh wow, there's a promise and a half. All right.
Well, so look at it.
I look forward to that.
You'll look at it and you'll go, Rademacher. God, he was great on special teams.
That's how can that not warm your heart? Yeah, go ahead, Devin.
Hey BG, man, I got several points, man. I can't call in every day, and
right, of course.
And I've been stewing and sitting on some things, and I want to share them.
Wow, okay. Now is your time.
Sometimes, you just said sometimes bad organizations do stupid things. Sometimes, supposedly quote unquote good organizations do stupid things too. One of the stupid things I wanted to point out was like, I'm just gonna say a name, Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Remember when he was drafted, number 3?
Yeah,
remember 100%. What it took to get him there? It took like 3 first round picks and second round.
Right.
And that's what the quarterback genius gave up to get him there, right? So I'm just my point being is like I would like for people to just calm down a little bit and just let things play out and see what happens before you start reacting, right? So that's one of the things I wanted to say. everybody's like, when somebody gets a coach that's really good gets terminated, and then people want to jump on the wagon and say, oh, we should just immediately fire AG again, but because this guy's going to automatically come here, aka John Harbaugh, who went to the Giants. Well, let me ask you this. Well, how the fuck does John Harbaugh go to the Giants and he has Lamar Jackson, the 2-time MVP? Because Lamar Jackson says, I'm done with him. He doesn't have a culture. He doesn't have a locker room. He doesn't. His message is lost on everyone, and that's a 2-time MVP. We would kill to have Lamar Jackson. He has the quarterback. Lamar Jackson is better than Jackson Dart, but yet and still, his ass got kicked out of Baltimore. So I just want to say, you know what I mean? Like, let's really sit back as fans, and that's one of the things like I really kind of frustrates me with Jets fans. You know what I mean? Especially for those, I know some of you that's listening, Mr. Asman, with these tremendous platforms that's just going fire, 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 and at every turn you have your influence. You're utilizing your influence to redirect negative energy towards the organization. Because when you're going with this copious amounts of negativity towards your head coach, well, it also affects the other people that can potentially come here as well. Why is AG on the hot seat? Anyone that would have looked at this job from 2 years ago would have said, damn, the Jets they got some pieces possibly, but they have a lot of work to do, right? And so it would be understood that even though I said 12-5, and yes, I am going to be every year, I am hoping for 12-5, because I don't want to lose. I hate losing. But we also have a responsibility to say as fans to not be as loud as we are. Let your opinions be heard. Yes, we know that AG did a lot of dumb shit. I'm not, to call me an AG truther, that's fine. That's cool. But it's necessarily that I'm a truther. I like the guy. I want him to succeed because he's a Jet. But with the same token, I'm not accepting 3-14 again next year. That is unacceptable. I'm with you guys when you say, maybe a 9-8 record, 8 or 9 wins rather, would make sense to me, and that you could keep your job. But
that would demonstrate the guy can coach. If he can't do that with the opportunities that Muji, I think, is going to give him between free agency and the two of them putting their heads together during the draft, then you have to wonder about his coaching ability.
Absolutely. But is it his coaching ability or his ability to hire the right staff? Now we want these players that's exactly. Yeah. Well, if you have a fan base that is rabid and always, and I was already saying, half of them saying to fire the head coach, why would you, as a defensive, a legitimate candidate that is, want to come and be one and done with him if he's not going to sustain the job for the next several years, right? If you're not really going to have an opportunity to grow a program, which it takes time to grow and develop a good program. It just does. And then this is New York, so things are different. Everything is magnified. So let's calm down and let's think about that. So let's see what happens in free agency before we look at what we need to do in the draft. I do want. I'll come back to the draft in a second. So let's think about that. One of my other things is like, no, I like the fact that there's no leaks. You know what? Because every time that something happens, just think about the list that came out. I can't, Jake, with all due respect, I love you, but I can't fucking listen to you anymore, bro. I just can't. Every fucking opportunity you get is fire AG, fuck AG, da 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 da. It's just so negative, bro. And it's just like, I'm tired of it. Like I'm dealing in negative, live in negativity with the losing that this team do, and I'm fucking Jets gear all the damn time. So I'm hearing shit all the damn time. The last thing that I need to do is be tuning into another Jet show, be hearing that this is some more negativity, right? And so I understand everybody's entitled to their opinion, and like he's always said, like if you don't like it, tune in something else. This is why I'm tuning into the BG show more than anything else, and that's why I'm coming on here, right? And so, yeah, that's my right, and I'm gonna do that. So let's think about that. We do need a QB coach. I agree with that, but I think AG also understands that, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on because no one is talking about anything. And again, I love that, but let's give them an opportunity.
You like that there is a cone of silence over
Absolutely.
What they're doing with really why?
Absolutely. Because every time something is said, there's this, because people that have the perspective of they do not want this coach to be in the position that he is in, everything that he does, they object to, right? So it doesn't matter who it is, unless it's somebody that they agree with, aka Jim Leonard, which is the only DC that people seem to think or want, right? But then you go and you don't give anybody else an opportunity. We don't know who the next person is. Like I don't think anyone is that well versed in the league to know who the next big DC is. You know, sometimes there's clear-cut candidates, but most of the time it's not. And then you hear dudes come up. Like, we didn't know who Banjo was. Like, nobody knew about that kid. Nope. You know, but yet, and look, giving him an opportunity, and look what he did. So that's just my point. Let's just let's wait and see what we have before we just go continue to criticize. We know, yes, AG messed up. AG did not do a good job last year. He wasn't good with as far as the press is concerned, fuck him. I don't really care.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Sure.
Let's say that it's Jim Leonard, but it's not Jim Leonard. It's another kind of a no-name defensive coordinator.
Durante Jones of Minnesota.
Yeah, the guy from Minnesota. Okay. I think if you're going to hire a guy like that, it would do you a lot of good to build the guy up before you even announce that he's been hired. That it would really help you to talk about this guy who we talked to that we haven't made a decision about yet, but he and this other guy, they are defensive savants. They are unheralded because they're unknown, because they're assistants to the DC where they are now, but they have track records that would indicate that these guys could be stars.
What's the point of hyping them up, Bob, before you hire them? Is that going to draw attention from other teams to then?
Well, no, I don't think so, because I don't.
And it's still going to be criticized. It's going to be criticized, Bob. I guarantee you, they hired Durante Jones. Asman is going to be like, "Oh, who's this guy? He doesn't. What does he do? What does he do well? You know?" And it's just like, you know, so it's like it doesn't really matter.
That's why you have to be prepared to explain why.
Well, I think the Jets are going to. They're going to hype him up once he gets hired. So if they hire Durante Jones, who, again, the exciting thing for me is he's worked under Brian Flores, and he's called he's called plays before, but it's never been at the NFL level. But, like, that would excite me. And then I'm sure the Jets PR machine is going to pump up, oh, look at all these stats and these players and all the turnovers the Vikings defense has had over the last couple of years. Durante worked with these individual players and brought them up. I don't need the hype train before. Again, I'm with Devin on the cone of silence. I don't talk until you get it in writing. You lock in Jim Leonard, then scream it from the rooftops when it's official. Right. You get Durante Jones and you want to explain who he is to the fan base who doesn't know. Great. To me, I don't need any noise ahead of time, because the thing that I hate is when the Jets say, "Ooh, guys, we almost traded for Joe Burrow, but we missed out. Oh, we almost drafted Puka Nacua, but we took this random backup." Like, I don't need the almost stories. I know there's a whole thing on Jet social media, the almost Jets.
You're absolutely right that you know, that whatever you do. Look, Devin, are you a baseball fan at all?
I am, and I do like the Mets.
Who do you root for?
Mets are my first love, but I don't follow the Mets. I don't follow them as closely as I do.
Well, you're in Virginia, so are you a Washington Nationals fan or anything?
Absolutely not. It's DNY for life. If it's not NY, it ain't me.
Okay, so you're a Yankee fan?
No, he said Mets.
I don't. I love the Mets. Well, I don't mind the Yankees though. I'm gonna tell you, real quick, Bob. When I was in the military, right? I was stationed on the West Coast. I was in San Diego. I was on Kitty Hawk with like 5,000 other sailors, and everybody knew me as New York. So any New York team got harassed. Anytime New York team sucked, I got harassed. I mean, it was cool because I gave it back to them. You know what I mean? I could take it and I could give it. So I just that's what drove me to just like, if it's not New York, it's not me.
The word harassed is perfect, because that's how David Stearns got treated up until this past week, the entire offseason. Every fan, me too, said, what the heck is he doing while everybody else is getting this guy, getting that guy? But he had a plan. And he worked it, actually, I think, to perfection. Yesterday, somebody ran a declaration online for any Met fan to sign up to say, David Stearns, check the box. I'm sorry. I was stupid. I didn't let you do your job, etc. And that's what I don't see happening with the Jets. I expect to be underwhelmed by what they do.
Right. So that's my point too. You just made my point for me, Bob. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because before the list of the 8 candidates came out, people were outraged with the Jets. What are the Jets doing? They're just sitting on their hand. What is AG doing? What does he do well? What is and then they come out and say, "Oh, the only person he's going to interview is what's the guy name from Michigan? Wink. The only person they're going to interview is Wink. That's the only person they're going to look at. It's going to be the same thing as Wilkes all over again and
But he interviewed.
But then it comes out that there's. But then it comes out there's 7 other candidates that they had already interviewed, right? And then it's like, oh, well, we didn't know that. Well, okay, but then of the 7 candidates,
the defensive backfield coach of the Miami Dolphins. Go what?
Well, I don't.
It's candidates. I don't know who's good. I don't know who's going to be good. They're candidates. But the point is that while everyone is saying that they're not doing anything, they were doing something. They had done something already. And so let's just relax. RELAX. That's the only thing I'm going to take from that bum. But yeah, we don't know. So let's just see what happens, man. Like just and again, Jake Asman, because I know you listening. How about instead of saying what does AG do well, just say, hey, how can the Jets improve the team? Instead of doing that, maybe you can help us to recruit a positive somebody that maybe you feel is going to be a good defensive coordinator, or someone that'll be an asset to the team. But instead of being negative, because it's like if you are this guy that's on ESPN and you have all of these different followers, and I'm not, with all due respect, a lot of people don't think for themselves. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go with what they hear and what this other person says. So use that influence to then have them think and say, okay, let's look at how we can objectively make this team better. Because at the end of the day, we are all Jets fans. That's why I love you, Jake. I fucking love you, bro. I just can't hear you right now. So I'm gonna come back to you, Jake, in the spring. In the summer when preseason is about to kick off and shit like that. I like what you got to say. Most of the time, I fucking love Jake. I'm an Asmaniac still.
You're gonna hear him say, "This is AG." He's a bust if he doesn't get it straight right. Yeah.
And that's fine. And that's fine at that point. You know why it would be fine at that point for him to say that? Because at that point we will have a roster. And at that point, AG has made his bed. So whatever his bed is that he's going to lay in, that is what it is. And he has every right to continue to criticize him.
That it's he and Muji together. It's not just Muji.
But here's the message to the audience, and I'm glad that Devin said this. Do not mistake silence for inactivity. So many people gave the Jets shit because exactly what Devin said. Oh, they're sitting on the hands, they're not interviewing anybody. And then, they just dropped 8 candidates that they had already interviewed. Yeah, you bastards were saying we weren't doing anything all week. Yeah, we spoke with 8 people for the job. I'm sorry you didn't hear about it, but we're doing. I think that was the loudest message with saying nothing, but saying something like, shut up. We're doing a bunch of stuff over here, and we don't have to inform you, but we will let you know when there's updates. And boom, there was an update. So there was a lot of Jets people that were making fun of the Jets, saying they're not doing anything. And I just said, guys, I don't know. This doesn't just mean they're doing nothing. It just means that we're not hearing about it. So hear about it when there's key updates to give. So hopefully they get it right. That's what we're all hoping for, DNY for life.
That's all we're hoping for. And I'm leaving on this last thing I'm going to say is,
yes, sir.
BG, I haven't won any of your contests yet, but if I win your contest, we're going to have to do an amendment because my mug and my shirt is already on the way. So,
okay. All right.
I don't know when it's going to get here, but I ordered it. I forgot when I ordered it, but I don't know. You can look.
Okay, good. Well, our shipping has gotten a lot better. Thank God. I've seen a lot of people already rocking the new stuff. So thank you. So the shipping and entire process has improved. So I can't wait, Devin, to hear and see when you get it, my friend.
I appreciate this platform, man. I appreciate your insight.
It's great to hear from you, and I'm glad that you and I are on the same page now that our quarterback from this last year was not very good.
Yes, he was not. He was not. But hey, Bob, this is the thing. I'm gonna be optimistic, but I'm also gonna be at the end. I'm gonna be realistic. I'm not gonna go. I want Justin Fields back.
I was hoping Justin Fields was gonna make me look bad, but
he didn't.
Me too. I was hoping to.
He made himself look bad.
And if we have to go in free agency, oh good Lord. I mean, well, we do have to go in free agency to find a quarterback, right? And I do think I would like to work it out so we can get somebody like a
well,
Tyler or
no.
I loved.
Wait, go ahead, Devin. Say the name. I'm sorry. Yeah, you cut out there. Go ahead. The names, you gave it a loud sigh, and then, Kyler
or
Kirk.
Kurt.
People with
Kyler
K
or
names.
Kurt.
Oh,
But my dream would be Jameis. I would love to have some famous Jameis.
Yeah. Famous
Oh,
Jameis.
that would be fun.
Sure.
That would be
let's
but I
trade
would,
for him.
you know what? The number one I would really, really, really like, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think he's gonna go to Miami. It's gonna be Malik Willis. I think Malik Willis is, but I would like to take another shot on him, but I'm scared because of Justin Fields. I feel like that's kind of similar. But I would like to have it extend. And I also like your idea, Bob, of Joe Flacco. Because we're gonna have a line, especially if we could get Linderbaum. I'll throw a bag at him. I'm with you on that, BG. Throw him, make him the highest paid center.
I like the fact that he showed himself that he can still play in the right kind of a system. And I also think that he's the kind of guy that will work, conscientiously with a young quarterback. But I think the guy they're going to get is from Arizona, because I think the Cardinals are desperate to get rid of him.
I think so. Well, my pop's favorite shipmate, love you, pal, and thank you for the passion as always. You always bring it to the table.
Appreciate you guys.
Peace out, Devin.
Devin, aka DNY for life. Let's get through a few more phone calls before we wrap up the show here. Let's go up next. We have Professor Philly Doodles.
Yo, what's going on,
Professor?
Philly, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
I had to cut in and out a few times. I could have probably been a little higher on the list to get into the calls. Some crap going on at work, but
sorry, man. Yeah.
No, it's all good because I have a bunch of points, but I don't think I'll get through.
Oh, okay. All right.
So first off, I'll say, Bob, I got an Amazon gift card. I want to buy that book, but I want that signature. I want the signature. How do I get it done?
All right. Contact our friend, our mutual friend, Paul. Ask him how to contact me, and I will tell you it's very simple.
Cool.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here for you, Philly, is I'm going to drop into the private chat his email, and you can reach out to him from there.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it too.
1,000%. Second of all, we have an ice storm. I think someone alluded to the weather. We got an ice storm coming through North Carolina. Bob's laughing already. I know you guys are getting plummeted, and we're getting a stupid ice storm. But
it is winter time.
Yeah. Well, hold on. That draft coming in, and it's going to get pretty icy. That's because Glenn's on thin ice this season. This is the precursor. Let's drop the precursor.
Thank God there's no climate change. That's all I can say.
I could say, sure, that's right. So I got to be very transparent. I want anyone to succeed with the Jets, and I am not a bootlicker. I'm not a whatever. But I was of the mind state of if two guys were available, you do whatever. Those two are now had passed because Tomlin obviously is moving himself out of the cycle, unless someone throws him the enormous bag. But he'll probably move on from the cycle here. My thing is the candidate situation for DC is alarming completely. The NFL is speaking under their breath.
Why?
No one wants a part of him. So I'm sorry, but it is only an undoubted situation. He will be fired if he does not win 7 or more games.
But if
I think doubling is not
Woody
enough.
intercedes during the interview process, let's say with Jim Leonard, and says, listen, if you have any concerns about coming here because of Coach Glenn's longevity and such, I want you to forget about that right now. He's not going anywhere, and it'll be reflected in the contract offer that we make to you.
I feel so. Now, BG, I know you don't like the jibs of my conversation now. And I'll tell you, buddy, I think I like what he just said. I'm going to allude to what I wrote down here as a couple pointers. Okay. Flores, on purpose, took a DC role again on a 1-year deal with a head coach situation like McDaniels that could get him out of the situation. I think Jim Leonard is going to do the same if he does not take the Jets job. He's going to, or he gets interviewed by the Bills or something. He's going to step back, go back into his assistant head coach, passing game coordinator, or whatever it is, position. Yep. And he in Flores will be biting at the chop to take this job next season with 3 first-round picks, a bevy of quarterbacks, with a more improved defensive room, and especially if Durante is taking the job, if he's another candidate that's had a second interview, he could be Flores' DC already built in. This would be an easy step forward into this future.
And you think they would be candidates held in a higher regard than our next Buffalo Bills coach that has gotten them to the playoffs, 8 years in a row?
Yeah.
And a former coach at Pittsburgh who has had a record of getting his team at the very least to the playoffs every single year. I don't think those guys would be held in higher regard than they especially. And Jake's, not that Jake's the answer, but Jake will say to you, "Oh, they're going to hire another first-time coach."
Well, I would just say this, just to sprinkle in real quick. The Bills are going to hire someone obviously imminently. Sean McDermott is fired. I don't see, again, anything can happen. The Patriots did it. Other teams do it. If the Bills hire a guy, they're out of the Tomlin sweepstakes. Tomlin does not want to coach this year at a minimum, and maybe ever if you listen to Jay Glazer. So the Bills will be out. So that's the good news for the Jets is that competition won't be available. If it was, I'm going to be honest. Tomlin would totally take the Josh Allen job. Why wouldn't he?
There'll be other teams. There'll be other teams that he'll be.
No, there will be. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying specifically for us. Like if we fired AG right now, the Bills fired him, and Tomlin wanted to go somewhere. Come on. I'm a Jets guy, but let's be real. If I'm Tom, of course I'm taking the Bills job with Josh Allen. The Jets don't have any quarterback unless you're the Tyrod Taylor believers from earlier in the show, for God's sakes. So of course, but the good news is that job won't be available next year. Other jobs will be. So that'll be the pitch if that is to be said. Again, I don't even want the job to be available. I want AG to work. So, fuck all these other people. But I understand.
Facts. We hope he works. But like I'm saying, if Durante, who's getting a second option for, a second interview, if he is hired, it's easy for Flores, who's a Jersey guy, the Bronx.
New York guy. Yeah.
Brooklyn, Bronx. It is a wrap. You can already package it together. It's going to happen.
It's a great thought. I'm not going to lie. Sense. Everything you just said, Philly, makes sense. Again, Jets hired Durante Jones this cycle. They think he's the guy. And again, the Cowboys were eliminated. That was the team that was looking at him. They get Durante Jones. And then next year, when you hold the assistants hostage, just what the Falcons did with Jeff Ulbrich. They're like, hey, man, you're not going anywhere. Let's hire a head coach first. And then they're like, please keep Ulbrich. He did. It's an easier sell in that particular case. Brian Flores has worked directly with Durante Jones. So if he took the New York job, coming back to New York, being a head coach again, there'd be a lot of intrigue there. And you just keep Durante Jones in place. And thus, you have some sense of continuity. Normally, when a new head coach comes in, he wipes the whole slate clean. Brand new offense, brand new defense, brand new everything. The fact that Durante would be a lieutenant of Brian Flores and thus keep the defense, so then we wouldn't have to wait for these seismic jumps. That, yes, you've sold a beautiful pitch. That's wildly intriguing. Sure.
So real quick, if I can make 2-3 more points as fast as possible.
Of course.
So,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Moogie's connection with Leonard being from Denver is another easy connection where, like you stated, Bob, even if they don't have that conversation, Moogie, when he looks at him, he hires him, he goes, DC. Knowing that Glenn looks worse than Moogie. It doesn't matter what that's the perception as of right now as we're speaking. And through this season, depending on how the draft and free agency goes, the same thing could be held. So it would behoove me to think that Woody would fire both of them since he kept Douglas. He's known to keep who doesn't keep a GM around longer than a head coach? Most organizations do. So I think he would hold over Moogie. And while if Leonard is our DC or not, a head coaching offer would go to him and probably could be selected very easily.
What I love about Jim Leonard is that the job he did at Wisconsin, which is a big time school.
Sure,
he's used to, working with big time college turning professional talent. And then he's in the pros where he not only played, but he's been coaching those kind of kids becoming pros and veteran players and improving their capability. And Denver, if they don't have the best defense in the league, it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, it's number 2 to Houston, who is terrific.
Yeah. And then, all right, so I'll run through these really fast. All right, all right. I'm sorry.
Hey, is that Jet?
Yeah, that's Jet. Okay. All right, so Jet with me here. Okay. If we trade up, Brady would be robbing us yet again. I'm tired of him doing that to the Jets. Boom, roasted. Okay. Next one. Nussmeier climbing up draft boards. I would assume that's going to happen during the draft process. His father's connection. He will be selected, I believe, second round for maybe nepotism, if not the third for sure. Could the Jets take a stab at him? Go ahead. Roasted. Boom. Next, Chambliss. Comparable to me to Shook. Older prospect, Got some talent. I think he's going to lights out the draft if he
A
goes
little,
into
a
it.
little smaller.
Yes, it doesn't matter about
They say
it's going to be the
5'11".
talent.
I mean, they say he's 5'11", and that does matter.
Yeah,
We'll measure
So-
it. We'll see. Yeah.
correct. And I think he'll get one of those contracts where like Shook got, where they're going to be all right. Well, we've seen you do it in JUCO. You did it. Come on, he went to the final 4 games with Ole Miss. Like it's a big
100%.
deal. I think it's a big deal. He'll
Roasted.
climb up board. Boom, roasted. Simpson is a desperation move. I don't care who drafts him. We better not draft him. I will break my television if that occurs at 16. You can take him in the second round with one of your picks. Boom, roasted. Okay, and the last thing I'll cover, 2016, younger Moogie, right? He remembers when that team took a stab at a QB that did not work out, and that's why I think the Simpson thing is ridiculous. That's when they did a Paxton Lynch. That was misery. Loves company. That did not work out right. Bo Nix was the last thing he was a part of that worked out very well. So to me, it would have to be my coach thinks that this guy's the guy, and that was an offensive coordinator coach in Sean Payton. That's not what Glenn is, and I do not think Ernst Strang has enough capacity and nuts in that room to say, go get me Ty Simpson. So that's not happening. Everybody calm down. Kuiper's wrong on this one this year, I hope. And let's go Jets. Let's go Jet. Jets, Jet. Yeah.
Jet.
Jets, Jets.
Yes.
Whoa, whoops. I don't think we lost Bob there. Oh, there he is. Boom, roasted. Thank you,
can't
Philly
get rid of me
Doodles.
that easily.
Yeah. That I was like, wow, that I don't know that sent you flying. Okay, there
That's
we go.
not my outro.
No, I don't believe so. So appreciate it. Wow. Okay, some passion. Love all the points there from Philly Doodles. Even if I don't agree with all of them, I respect the fact that
He's very thoughtful.
no question about it. And Jet was is beautiful. Great to see.
I
Jet
loved
there.
I loved what he imparted to us.
Yeah, 100%. Probably the best thing of the whole call. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding. But shout out to Jet. All right, let's keep rolling down on the phone lines before we wrap up the show here. Up next is Frankie.
Frankie.
Hey, Bob, I can hear you, but I can't hear BJ.
You can't hear me?
Really?
I can't hear you.
Oh, well, I'll just take over the show if it's
Yeah,
okay
can you
with
just
you,
take over the
BG.
show, Bob? Bob, we don't need BG anyway. Don't worry about
No,
it.
who
I
needs
actually
it?
want
It's only
Bob, I
his
wanted
name
to
at the
talk to
top
you.
of the screen. I mean, so it'll be Bob Greendale.
There you go. I wanted to talk to you anyway. Number
What
one,
do you want to talk about?
Number one, the weather over here is 45 degrees in the Dallas area, but it's supposed to get down to 13 this weekend. And we're supposed to have some snow and ice. So I promise.
And what's the real feel supposed to be?
The what?
The real feel? I guess.
Oh yeah, I don't know, like 5. It's supposed to be like
5.
the real
Okay,
feels like
well,
that.
all right. Well, you guys will. Well, you won't tough it out. You're from Texas.
Yeah, well, I'm from New Jersey, so
Well, I
can
know,
deal with
but
it,
you're in Texas, so just laugh at all your neighbors who are.
Yeah, exactly.
What
But
do
I
you want to
will
talk
promise
about?
you this: since the road, if it does ice and snow, which it's supposed to, and they don't know how to
Now that
clear the roads
we've
here.
agreed, we don't want to trade everything we've got to get a particular player,
Yeah.
college or pro. What do you want to talk about?
Oh no, real quick. I promised I'm going to finish your book this week or this weekend, and then I'm going to have some questions for you next week.
What do you think of the concept of just kind of breaking it out into player by player?
I like that concept. I do. I think it's interesting.
That's what the Jets PR guy, who I did not talk to before, but the guy who had been the PR guy for 35 or 40 years said, hey, somebody needed to pay attention to all the other guys around Joe, because Joe got.
I agree. I think it's a cool concept. My sister-in-law is actually reading it right now. Also, the one you signed. She's reading it first. I haven't gotten feedback yet, though. No feedback.
Did your brother
yet,
read
so.
it?
No, he's waiting for my sister-in-law to finish it. So. They're kind of interesting that way. Anyway, he did the same thing with the script that I wrote. He had to get.
What do you
gave it
think
to my
about the
sister-in-law
DC
first.
search? What do you think about the DC search?
First of all, I just want to make one quick comment. The only thing I want to hear Woody say is when he comes out and says, "I sold the team." Other than that, I don't want to hear from him. So,
I agree.
The DC thing. When I first saw the list, I wasn't really enthralled by it like anybody else. As far as what they're coming out and saying, I don't care either way. I guess for BG's sake and Jake's sake, I know they need something to write about and talk about. So for their sake, it would be nice if they came out every once in a while with some information. So these content creators had something to talk about. But I understand their silence. I get it.
You do?
But
What do you think about Alon's point about they owe something to the huge fan base?
well, I think they owe a lot to the huge fan base. First of
Well,
all,
but I'm talking about
oh,
at
as far as
this point.
information,
Yeah.
I could care either way. To be honest with you, I don't
Okay.
need to know every little thing that's going on. I just need to know if every once in a while, let me know, like, okay, yeah, this is where the process is. We're on second interviews. We're on
You feel
first
the same way
interviews.
about a quarterback coach search?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, until it's announced and until we have no control over it. So it's like, I don't need to know every person or interview. I don't need to know. I'm just not like that. I don't feel I need to know. That's just me personally, Bob. I just don't care. And when you make the announcement, and I'll have an opinion on it.
Okay.
But till then,
Any of the guys that you saw play in the college playoffs strike you as the guy you want at the number 2 pick?
Baines. That's about it. Well, not that about, or I thought he was probably the best that I saw. Originally, it was Revis, but I'm not Revis. Arvell Reese, sorry.
Reese, yeah.
But then I think I saw Bain. So if we can't trade the pick back, I would probably take him. I'm with Philly Noodles. I want nothing to do with Ty Simpson. I think he should have gone back to school. Not sure why he came out. I think the quarterback class is better last year. I mean next year than it is this year. And then also, I said it in my chat. I'm not about to trade the entire team for Joe Burrow or Mendoza. I mean, I love Mendoza and I love Joe Burrow, but we, I think I mentioned this on a couple other shows. Like, instead of losing games, 55-7, we're going to lose 55-45. And the hell's the difference? I mean, no, so our defense is so bad, and I'm not sure if it can't be all coaching. It just, it has to be the players as
But I think a
well.
substantial part of it was because to have Sherwood drop in his clear ability to affect the game between one year and the next. I don't think
same
that's,
with Quincy,
that's
right?
talent.
Same with Quincy, right? I mean, but
Well, yeah.
was that due to now? Let me ask you this: what do you think of this opinion? Was it due to the technique, tactics, X and Y's of what's his face? Can't remember the
Yeah,
guy's
I
name
mean,
now.
I
Or
think it
was
was
it due to his
because
motivation? Was it due to his lack of being able to motivate players?
No, I don't think it's motivation. I think it's how you put the players in situations where they can, have the greatest impact. Because the week after he was gone, when I was watching the game, the color man was talking about the fact that the Jet linebackers were doing different things than the films that he had watched the week before, when the same guy, the same analyst, did the game 2 weeks in a row. And he talked about the fact that there was a pronounced difference. Well, as the game wore on, that difference made less and less impact. But at least they had changed something in the way they were doing things.
I think it's a combination of both. I think it was coaching and players.
Thank you. I'm sure that if Paul were here, he would thank you for the super chat that you gave before. But did it make any impact on you? Oh, you can come back, Paul. Come on.
Paul,
we're getting
Paul,
lonely
Paul,
here.
Bob took over your show, so I don't. It's called now the Bob.
So now you know,
the Bob Lederer show, not the Bob.
Now
not the Paul Green show.
you can take off one of those 365 shows a year, and I can step in.
Bob, I mean, BG, I still can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. It must be something.
Oh, can you really hear me now?
Oh, now I can hear you. Yes.
Oh, okay. I was about to do sign language for the rest of the show.
Frankie, last thing, because I know that Paul wants to keep the show moving. But did it make any impact on you that Mendoza looked more, normal and not supernatural in the game on Monday night?
No, because that's what I expected when he has a great defensive line going against him. I mean, there's no doubt that he's been benefited by the line that he has and the entire offensive scheme in the team at Indiana. I mean, like I don't know if you were aware of this. He was at Cal when my daughter was there, and So she watched him a lot. She was at the games, and she told me about Fernando before I even knew how Fernando was. To be perfectly
Really?
honest with you. And then she was very upset when he went to Indiana and all of a sudden became a star. So I think he was good at Cal. He was solid, but he wasn't. I think it's part of the scheme, but I think that's true for a lot of quarterbacks, Bob. I think you put. I mean, you could put Tom Brady behind the Las Vegas line next year if they don't improve it. He's going to get killed. I don't care who the quarterback is. I think it's a combination. Now, I still think that I love Mendoza's toughness. He's got some kind of weird it factor, which BG and I talk about. I can't even explain it. There's something about him that's just different. And he can make most of the throws. I think he's accurate. But again, I'm not willing to give up my entire draft for him. And if somebody said, "Oh, it won't take that much," I'm like, I can't imagine Las Vegas isn't going to ask for the moon for it. So,
Right. Of course.
I mean, I don't even know. I mean, do you got BG? What's a realistic trade? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he wouldn't take 3-2-3-1s or something.
Right. So here's the thing. Two things. I think Fernando's going to 1,000% be the number one overall pick. Now, there may be a slight percent that it's not the Raiders the one picking it, that maybe they trade it. And here's the only thing is that the Raiders say to themselves, holy shit, our offensive line stinks. And if we draft Fernando, we have to start him. We have to play him. And that pressure with this offensive line is not a good combo. You know what? Let's trade it for a haul. We're going to build this thing out a different way. So if they decided to reach that conclusion, the Jets would obviously a 2-to-1 swap obviously happens. So the Raiders would have to get 2. You have to give up 16. And then beyond that, especially because then we're competing against the imaginary 20 other teams that would want to.
Plus a one next year.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Exactly.
And that's a rich price to pay to move up one pick. And if I'm the Raiders, I'm strongly like, 2, 16, and a 1 next year. And then what's the 1 negotiation? Do they say, hey, Jets, we want the best one, whatever one you have?
Right. They're going to want the best one.
And then you're like, oh, gee. And I would want to do that.
They want to get that quarterback next year.
Sure.
That's exactly right.
That may be
so I'm with Bob. I build this thing slowly and steady. And I have the patience. I'm not like a lot of people who I need immediate wins. I knew this was a bad team. Once Woody fired Saleh, and I knew it was over, and I knew the rebuild was then. And it's not going to take. It's not going to. Depending on what happens in free agents, anything can happen.
2 years ago, Drake May was a consolation prize in most.
100% as third overall.
Exactly.
So you never know. So sometimes
you never know. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm not expecting 13. And I'm not looking for. I'll be happy with 6, 7 wins, 8 wins, but I'm looking. I'm going to be 62 this year. I want a Super Bowl, man.
Me too.
I don't remember 69, so it doesn't count. I was 4 years old.
Read my book and you'll remember it.
Yeah,
there you go. Good.
I watched the video. I watched the YouTube, replay.
Did you watch the game recently like I did?
I'm sorry?
Did you watch it recently like I did?
No, I haven't watched it recently. I
haven't seen it maybe 10 years or so.
When you watch it on Sunday afternoon before the championship games are played.
Yeah,
you'll really appreciate what happened that day.
I remember it. I remember it from.
I know you do.
It's worth a rewatch. But
Frankie, so I want a really good team built. I'm willing to take the time to do it.
Let's do it. Frankie, you're the best. Thank you. And appreciate Bob Green Daily. That was a great first episode there. All right. Not too shabby at all. And thank you as well. Bob said I would have said thank you. He read my mind. I was going to say thank you for the $5 super chat to your face. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Frankie. All right. Let's go to the Kyle Clifton call.
Whoa, there he is.
What's up, Kyle? Yeah, there he is, baby.
Gentlemen, how are you?
We're
Excellent.
good. How
Thank
are
you?
you?
For calling in. Thank you.
I kind of joined a little bit late.
Okay.
Tyrod being proposed as the backup or the starter?
So here's the thing. So it was written in a way that it was a similar role to last year. So I assume that means QB2. But the part that I had the bigger problem with, and it's in the article down below, is not only are the Jets making it, according to this reporter, widely known that they want Tyrod back, that it will be difficult to bring him back. And the only way they may be able to bring him back is if they overpay. And my very quick microwave take is that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. He had as many interceptions as touchdowns. He didn't play, quote unquote, reasonably well, as the reporter suggested. He was mediocre. And fine, if we want to bring that back and he's battling out for QB2 or QB3, I'm totally cool with it. But I'm not overpaying for Tyrod Taylor. He had inconsequential football play last year. I can find someone else who could give me inconsequential football play. So I'm okay bringing him back if he's one of 3 quarterbacks in the room, but I'm not willing to overpay for Tyrod Taylor. He was mediocre last year.
Hey, Paul, why would you want to make it widely known that you want him back?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Saying you, the Jets.
The
Jets
reporter,
are making it widely known they want him back, but they're not
bizarre.
making it widely known who they want for as a defensive coordinator.
Well, that I don't know. I don't understand the wording of that. They've made it widely known for what? To your point, go to the top of the mountain, Lion King. We want Tyrod Taylor back, and everyone's like, okay, I don't understand. So yeah, that was weirdly worded on the report. I'm not sure, but again, the overpay factor. Pound sand, buddy. If people are willing to overpay for Tyrod, we go somewhere else.
Given what's out there, they'd have to pay him like low end starter money back.
What? Tyrod?
Yes.
What?
Who else?
There's no
who
way.
else is going to come in as a veteran and be a starter here?
Well, no, he's not going to be a
go down the list.
I don't think they're looking at him as a starter, Kyle.
And some of these names, I will say, could be trade or sign situations.
He might be a placeholder. That's what I'm saying.
I think they look at him as a number 3 and a guy who would coach up, a young drafter.
I would go Kyler. I'd go Kirk Cousins. I'd go Geno Smith. I'd go Tua, for God's sakes. Like, I would go in one of these other obtuse directions before. Like, how does AG, with his job on the line, say, you know what? Tyrod being a very legitimate option of 2020. I just can't see it. I think AG is going to feel the desperation, and rightfully so, to add a quote-unquote legitimate guy. And again, we could put Tua aside because of the AFC East stuff. But like Geno or Kyler, I could totally see him swinging for the fences on whoever those are, and swinging for the fences very loosely used. I'm not saying swinging for the fences like Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow. We know the sandbox we're playing in, but that's what I fully anticipate AG do.
I don't think that AG's job is in jeopardy as people think it is. Like, if you're not going to fire him after this year, if he shows any improvement and he's got this relationship with Woody and he made these trades, I think Woody's going to want to see it through. And
I think you may be onto something for sure. Yeah.
But
by the way, a number 3 quarterback in the NFL, I just looked this up.
Sure.
With 3 years experience, makes $1.1 million.
And even it's more for him because veteran minimum, count the years of service
there
time.
is, and
He's
so
been in the league for
the fact
15
that he
years,
made
so.
6 this year as a number 2, okay, that's why I'm surmising that they would have to pay around 5 or 6 to have him as a number 3.
It'd be somewhere in that ballpark, right? For veteran minimum, again, you have service time for people.
So that would be the overpay that we argue.
I suppose, I guess,
the
but
fact that we're even having this conversation goes to show that AG is not the guy, right? Because
what do you mean?
Like, we're in this position, because of him.
Sure.
Like, we can't attract these DCs. We can't attract free agents that might want to come here because of him.
Yeah.
And the issue now becomes, like, if this is going to be another tank year, why not just say, okay, Tyrod, you're going to be the starter. It's going to be, 10.5, right, for 1 year. We know we're probably going to get only 5 or 6 games at the beginning of the season out of you if we're lucky. And then we're going to bring in 2 other young quarterbacks to compete for with Brady Cook for 2 spots, right? And for the QB2 and QB3 or maybe more down the line, try and develop guys. And then after a month and a half, 2 months, they're brought in and they're given an audition, but there's no long-term commitment.
Kyle, do you think that in his wildest dreams that AG looks at this year and says, another tank year? I don't.
No, I think he's totally deluded. I think
really?
He's totally deluded about
it. Just to add in, if he does what you say, let's say brings a Tyrod, and then just 2 inconsequential whatever, third round, or we don't have a 3rd round pick, but a 4th round pick and a 6th round pick of quarterbacks, and that's the room, that will speak very loudly of what AG believes of his own security, if that's the room he brings in.
So
that'd be very loud.
If they're going to go down the road that you guys are thinking, where they must win this year to save AG's job,
relatively speaking,
and Malik Willis $50 million in year one of his deal.
I have no interest in Malik Willis.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, that's the kind of dice roll he would have to take in order to save his job, right? Like,
you're a competent guy.
You either tank or you don't. You try and win, right? And if you try and win, like, there is no immediate solution in the draft. You have to go like a trade route or a Malik Willis route. Like, there's a problem here at quarterback for 2026. There is no imminent solution. And, you guys are talking up guys like Trinidad Chambliss, who I think is a day 3 guy. So, like, I don't know what the answer is, and I have no confidence that AG knows what the answer is. I appreciate your time, guys.
There he is, the Kyle Clifton call. All right, let's get one more caller in before we wrap up the show. Thank you to everyone
so
that's joined us.
close to 3 hours. We are so close.
I know, yeah. As much as I would love to pop that cherry, we have some other interviews coming.
If I'm getting up at 5:30, you might as well use me as far as you can go.
Okay,
I'm ready to keel over.
I will keep that in mind. Let's get one last call, and it'll be Bill. No better place to end.
Hey, Bill.
Bill,
Oh my goodness! What
Let's
a
go Mets,
day!
Bill.
Yeah,
What a day! With all the negativity, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if some fans burn AG and effigy outside of MetLife for Game 1 just to show the support.
Right, for God's
It's
sakes,
insane. It is insane what I'm listening to. It is totally insane. Definitely AG put himself in this position, though. So,
Sure. Of course.
yeah. Rather than come out and be honest that it's gonna take a little bit longer than expected, he just simply went from day one and said, "Well, of course we'll win with this roster." Of course this team will be one that all the fans will be proud of this year, and then changed his tune later, and I'm like, oh my God. Anyways, Kyler Murray, I would be open to the Jets bringing him in, of course, with the Cardinals paying the majority of his salary, because he sounds like the one quarterback that has the tools to play Engstrom's offense, which would be his running ability as well as passing. So I would think that he is to me the number one guy they should consider getting in here. If they get Cousins instead, I can hear the Jet fan base. Oh, another guy coming off the couch. Wait a minute, he wasn't on the couch. Close enough, It is insane to listen to all this.
Kyler Murray, and I guess he's the best of a bad bunch of choices.
Could be.
Well, you better have a pretty solid number 2 ready, because Kyler Murray is pretty injury prone too, based on what we've seen in recent years.
Not nearly as much as Tyrod, but it's fair. He's obviously coming off an injury situation.
Right. The injuries are unavoidable. They'll happen to any quarterback. But you're hoping that AG and his staff will eliminate the other outside stuff that comes with him, and he won't be playing any video games or anything like that during the football season. It's insane, man. And it's rougher for me now too, because I just learned that I lost one of my cousins to cancer last night.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Rough. Yeah. He was somebody that he was about 10 years or so older than myself, but this was a guy who went to the gym every day. And for a guy who was in his 60s and 70s, he had a 30-year-old body, all muscular and everything. Yeah,
it goes to show you, right, that none of us are invincible, no matter what you do.
It's like the marathon runner who started the New York Marathon who killed him.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, you kidding me? It's great to go to the gym, stay so muscular that even the 20 and 30-year-old girls are a little over him." And said, "Yeah."
He lived the dream. Blessed be he.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we all be so lucky?
Yeah, so definitely Kyler Murray should be the quarterback. And I kind of agreed that Tyrod could be kept around maybe to help influence the young kid when we draft him, whoever that may be. We may draft quarterbacks in back-to-back seasons. We may draft one here and next year, which would make sense.
Sure,
it would
of
make
course.
sense.
The thing with Tyrod Taylor is you may be sitting there talking to this young kid and saying, "Here, do this, do this, do this," and then he gets called in the game and he makes the mistakes that he just tried to teach the young quarterback not to make.
Well, we hope that it doesn't come down to that.
Of course not. Of course not.
I'm not even sure what more I can add to this conversation. I mean, I'm a Mets fan, and I'm very happy with what's taking place in the last 48 hours or so. It's incredible.
That's changed some moods locally.
Yeah. I'm sure there's still a couple more moves to go. So now I feel a lot better coming into spring training what the team looks like. So,
well, cheers to Mets fans, Bill. And as always, thanks for the call and thanks for sharing your love. And again, our thoughts and love are.
Well, let's hope we'll have a lot to cheer about come September with our Jets.
Amen.
Hopefully they'll be a lot better and the fan base will start feeling a little better. Although there'll always be the detractors every now and then, just to make everybody else's lives interesting,
No
Bill,
doubt about it.
Stay tough and stay warm.
Yes, thank you, Bill. And I appreciate this. Nate Jets sends in a 5. Nate the Great, a 5-pack of memberships. Hey, now. I love it. That is absolutely marvelous. I love it when we can do this. Now 50 raffle tickets for Nate the Great, and I love that he, that's a cool way to. If you guys enjoy the show, which Nate the Great's his great show, BG and Bob, he was giving a tip to the show for loving it. Thank you. Let's read those 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Appreciate Nate the Great for throwing these in the pot. Thank you very much. Those 5 memberships went to Just Damien, E the Key, Brian Damage, Rock Bend, and Nashville Jetterin. You guys are all now members of the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to Nate the Great. Yes, if you guys enjoy the show, that's a great way to support it. Tip your waiter on the way out for enjoying the program. Thank you kindly. Thank you, Nate.
Thank you,
Again,
Nate.
5 more raffle tickets for the contest. Beautiful. And thank you, everyone that gave super chats and memberships during the show, which, by the way, included people like NC Green, Philly Doodles, Joey R1202, Frankie, Jake Asman, a super chat, and then, of course, J-Boy being a new member to the Boy Green Espresso Club, which is one of our YouTube membership groups. I am desperately set to do a series of other interviews, so I got to catch up on that. But, Bob, another phenomenal show in the books, and, hey, maybe the next time we talk, we'll know who the hell the defensive coordinator is.
I'm betting against it, but
okay, there you go. Well,
Except
everybody,
for Wink.
thank you. Yeah, we'll see.
I fully expect Wink. I
fully expect Jim Leonard. So,
well, I hope you're correct, and I don't want to see you on Tuesday morning open your show like this.
I will. I'll do this. Go suckers, because I will be excited. I will do a fake ski because we'll have Jim Leonard, which would be
And I
great.
will call in and say, "Good job, you convinced me."
There we go, baby. Thank you to the 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, and we will be back tomorrow morning for another episode of Boy Green Daily, and I will be back with some more content later today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you. Take care now.